Yeah. Whoa. I speak. We change lives, Jesus. I speak.
Welcome to the TP Masterclass. On behalf of Cliff Cheqona and the entire TP family, we're honored to have you here. You didn't just join a live session. You stepped into a transformational experience designed to help you master your mind, align your emotions, and trade with clarity and conviction. We'll be starting shortly. In the meantime, settle in and prepare your notepad. Like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. And most importantly, invite someone who needs this. Because around here, we don't just trade, we transform. Let's get started soon.
I speak life, I speak spirit. We change lives, Jesus did it. I speak life, I speak spirit. We change lives, Jesus did it. Step into my Monday. I'm stepping to my Monday. I'm stepping to my Monday. We change lives, Jesus did it. I'm stepping to my Monday. I'm stepping to my Monday. I'm stepping to my Monday. We change lives, Jesus did it.
What TP Masterclass really is. TP Masterclass is a transformation masterclass that happens every Saturday. It is designed to reshape the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you perform, not just in trading, but in any industry where your mind plays a major role. Even though anyone can benefit from it, the majority of people you'll find here are traders. Why? Because trading is one of the few fields where your mindset, your emotions, and your discipline are tested every single day. Every session blends psychological lessons that help you understand your thinking and your behavior, spiritual lessons that strengthen your inner conviction and identity, practical lessons that give you structure and direction in real life. TP Masterclass exists because most people don't fail due to lack of skill. They fail because their mindset is not prepared for the level they are trying to reach. This masterclass equips you with the mental strength, emotional stability, and clarity needed to perform at a high level, whether you are a trader, an entrepreneur, or someone trying to grow in life.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game.
Hi TP family, hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to another TP Masterclass. I hope most of you are doing well. Well, not most of you, I hope everyone is doing very, very well. And I hope you're having such a great day today. Today is a wonderful Saturday. We always meet here Saturdays, 6 p.m. UK time. Even though there's a time change, you guys still show up to join the TP Masterclass, and that is truly amazing from you guys. If you're tuning in from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or anywhere else, hi, my name is Tennyson Shells. As most of you already know, I feel very privileged to have you here join us once again on a Saturday evening, 6 p.m. UK time. And if this is your first time here, I want to take 90 seconds to tell you exactly what this space is, because most people tend to misunderstand it. So I hope this explanation that I'm about to give is going to give you a very good clarity of what to expect here during the TP Masterclass, because TP Masterclass is about trading psychology, and trading psychology, simply put, is the study of the trader's mind, emotions, and behavior. But I want to tell you what actually this means for you. When you come into this room, this live stream, all the time, you are not coming here to learn a strategy, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you see it. You're not coming here for entry signals. You're not coming here for chart patterns or market predictions, because this is not the kind of TP Masterclass that we hold here. You are coming here to study yourself, to be more self-aware of who you are as a person. And everything that Cliff teaches in this room falls into one of these three categories. And I want you to listen very carefully, because understanding this will change how you experience every session that we have here during the TP Masterclass. First, you'll find knowledge that will help you arrive at your self-awareness, as I mentioned before, and you tend to understand the language patterns of who you are as a person, what you've been living with, and you didn't know how to name it. Okay, and the moment that you can name whatever is wrong with you or whatever you keep facing, you are able to change it, because now you are self-aware of what the problem is with you. Second, you'll find tools. We have plenty of tools that will help you to your self-regulation, how to manage your emotions, how to manage your impulses, how to manage your decisions when it comes to trading, when the pressure is very real. And the third is, and this is the most important one that people tend to miss, you'll find the architect for your own identity. You'll find the architect for your identity that will help with your transformation, because at the deepest level, this work is not about fixing your trades. It is more so about reconstructing your identity, to stack your beliefs, to know your personality, to know your habits, to know your behavior. Because once you fix the identity, you are able to fix, or you're able to experience the results that will follow the new identity that you are coming into. So wherever you are tuning in from, whether Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, UK, US, Uganda, wherever that you are tuning in from, whether you're a trader or an entrepreneur or a professional or a student, or simply an intelligent person who wants to understand why they are the way that they are, or to know their interest, this is the place for you, because this place is not the wrong place for you. It will help you understand who you are as a person, and to be more self-aware of what to expect once you start tuning into more of our TP Masterclass. Another thing that I want you guys to bring your attention to is the recap videos that we usually share. Is we share it so that you know what we taught last week and be able to come into a mindset to like prepare you for the new psychology class that we are about to have. So I'm gonna not talk too much so that we can watch the recap from last week. I'll be right back.
Previously on the TP Masterclass.
Most people in life, we make goals or we set goals with our intentional self, but we live our lives through the conditioned self. Your mindset is very important, because how you think affects how you feel and how you act. Every action comes from something. Every reaction comes from something. Your mind is always playing games on you, always trying to tell you things, always trying to make you believe things or feel things that are not even true. If you can't handle what's inside of you, you cannot handle what's outside of you. If you cannot handle yourself emotionally, you cannot succeed in anything you try to do. If you cannot handle your mental space, your mental health, you cannot thrive in anything you want to do. If you're not spiritual, you cannot make it in life. One of our biggest downfalls as human beings is our emotions. Just one phone call from someone can mess up your whole mood. People are afraid of taking risks because they don't know what's going to happen. The fear of the unknown. If I invest into this, what's going to happen? Nobody knows what's going to happen. So you can't continue to live your life in fear of the unknown. All you can do is prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to be able to do things physically. We are not responsible for how other people treat us. We are not responsible for other people's behavior. We are only responsible for how we react. Our feelings, our actions are our responsibility.
Trading psychology is the study of the trader's mindsets, their behavior, and their emotions. Revenge trading is when an individual who is pretending they understand there is losses in this game and they have accepted it. If you have truly accepted that losses is part of this game and you can win some and lose some, why are you angry trying to change back the loss you made? So psychology is not bad. Your reality of life is what you have not accepted. You need money now, and trading will not give it to you the way you want it. So accept the fact. Learn multiple skills. Give your service. Make money and multiply. Because the financial market is not a place where we make money necessarily. It's a place where you multiply. When you hit a stop loss, smile. I don't feel like smiling. A smile is not a feeling. Widen the corners of your lips and show your teeth. You are not telling yourself. You are telling your conscious mind to repeat to your subconscious so that you will not sabotage your account in the future. Every single time that you are in the markets, your brain does not know how to differentiate between losses, the fear of loss, and the fear of the lion. The fear of loss and the fear of the lion, it is the same type of fear to your mind. The trap most traders live in is that if I understand the behavior, then I have changed. No. If I recognize the emotion, so many people ask me, how do I recognize my emotion? Recognizing your emotion does not change you. Recognizing your emotion is just part of the transformation, not the transformation. Transformation is not a surface level change. It is an improved mood. So when something goes through a transformation, you can see it. It is an internal reconstruction that produces external results. So transformation comes from within. Imagine you're about to take a trade. You will hear a loud sound. What if it hit the stop loss? What if you are accountable? You hear the sound very loud. And when you want to intentionally encounter that, I am a winner. What is that? Affirmation supports identity. Declaration builds identity. Right now, I'm telling you, you need money now. But trading cannot be able to cater for you the way you want. You are like, this guy, take his nonsense away. No problem. So you will now go and somebody will tell you, all you have to do is to start with $100. And you will start with $100. You will blow it. Then you will deposit again. Then you will blow it. Then you will deposit again. Then you will blow it. Then one time you will make some $50 profits and you withdraw that one. Is trading is working. Then you will blow the 100. Now you are still a negative. You keep on blowing it. By the time you realize you've lost over $700. What I'm teaching you now, I'm not motivating you. Please, I hope you are learning. After doing 61 episodes, 2 hours minimum of a masterclass, I will not come and sit here, joke with you when I know the information I'm giving will not transform you. Trading psychology is the only thing a mentor cannot fake.
Get ready for today's masterclass.
Hi, guys. That was truly an amazing recap. I really hope you guys learned something because last week we did learn a lot about emotions and the transformation protocols. And if you have not seen that video, make sure that you are going back to last week's session to understand what exactly happened during that session, because we also had a special guest, Sonia Ibrahim. She did wonderful. So I would really recommend for everyone to go back to watch last week's session because it was truly insightful. Now we're just gonna move on to testimonies that we have gathered for this week so that we know what the community is saying and things that you never know could help you. So Solomon. Okay, so this week's testimonies, this one is from, I'm gonna skip the names because I don't want to pronounce people's names wrong. But the first one says, the way this video broke down the mental game really hit home, made me rethink my approach, practiced it on Xness today, and the sessions felt kinda smoother. Like everything clicked into one place mid-run. I'm very happy to hear that. Respected sir, I am Parexit from India. I have watched every TP masterclass up to episode 41 in complete silence. Wow. I never commented or liked earlier because I was not signed into YouTube. Today I logged in especially to express my heartfelt gratitude to you. Words truly fall short to describe what I feel right now. Your teachings have touched me deeply and changed the way I see myself and the world. I feel genuinely transformed. Every single TP masterclass has shifted my perception and helped me grow at a much deeper level. I am immensely grateful for your guidance and mentorship. God bless you, sir. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Amazing to hear. And the next person said, wow, this is powerful. It's actually beyond trading. I'm so grateful I came across Cliff. I first saw him on a podcast and the wisdom that he was spitting made me look for him. Now I'm hooked here. Thank you, Cliff. Amazing. Super amazing to hear. This can't be lucky. I got introduced to your channel right when I needed the most. And from that day onwards, I was like, it must be Allah that showed me your channel. You are doing phenomenal job, man. Please keep it up. You are my psychology mentor now. I'm so happy to hear everyone's testimonies that they are finding so much help here on this platform. You can continue to share the platform with your friends and families, because you never know if they are also interested in changing their mindsets, transforming their minds, because that's what we mostly talk about here during the TP Masterclass. So if you have not shared the link for today's class, you can share it with your friends and families, or anyone that could be interested in what will be shared on here today. Okay, I believe that is it from me right now. If you have not grabbed your notebook and your journal to take notes, make sure that you are doing so right now, because we are about to get into the session for today, and I hope you guys take so much from it. Thank you, and stay tuned for more.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
What TP Masterclass really is. TP Masterclass is a transformation masterclass that happens every Saturday. It is designed to reshape the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you perform, not just in trading, but in any industry where your mind plays a major role. Even though anyone can benefit from it, the majority of people you'll find here are traders. Why? Because trading is one of the few fields where your mindset, your emotions, and your discipline are tested every single day. Every session blends psychological lessons that help you understand your thinking and your behavior, spiritual lessons that strengthen your inner conviction and identity, practical lessons that give you structure and direction in real life. TP Masterclass exists because most people don't fail due to lack of skill. They fail because their mindset is not prepared for the level they are trying to reach. This masterclass equips you with the mental strength, emotional stability, and clarity needed to perform at a high level, whether you are a trader, an entrepreneur, or someone trying to grow in life.
Now that you guys are sitting here, I am not teaching you. You are using me to learn you, because psychology is not what I teach you. It's what you learn about you. As a trader, your mindset plays an important role. Because when your brain is exhausted, your emotions will spike. If your emotions spike, your decisions will swift. It's a law. In trading, the person that is able to say I'm wrong quickly is the one that makes the money. I'm wrong. Cut it. Don't even think twice. Cut it. But you see, that is where those four guys that I explained to you, the dopamine guy and then the amygdala guy, you need to shut them down immediately. And how do you do that? You don't beat a thought by thinking. If you think with these guys, you will fail. When you don't counterattack thoughts that has grown in your mind, it will become your behavior. Why? Because behavior is a belief system. Consistency comes from a system, not from a feeling. Consistency comes from a structure, not from a feeling. And so if you trade because you are broke and you need to make money, you won't make money. You have to put...
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
All right. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, can you please drop some number ones in the chat for me? If you guys can hear me loud and clear, just drop some number ones in the chat for me. I want to do something quickly right now. I know today we are, of course, doing the psychological segment early, and today we are starting our episode, first episode for series. So kindly please just invite anyone that you know that has to be here. Invite them for us. So we're gonna take like 30 seconds break. We'll come back and we'll get right into it. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys can hear me. Yeah, good. So we're gonna go on a short break for like a few seconds. We come back and then we'll begin today's masterclass.
Now that you guys are sitting here, I am not teaching you. You are using me to learn you, because psychology is not what I teach you. It's what you learn about you. As a trader, your mindset plays an important role. Because when your brain is exhausted, your emotions will spike. If your emotions spike, your decisions will swift. It's a law. In trading, the person that is able to say I'm wrong quickly is the one that makes the money. I'm wrong. Cut it. Don't even think twice. Cut it. But you see, that is where those four guys that I explained to you, the dopamine guy and then the amygdala guy, you need to shut them down immediately. And how do you do that? You don't beat a thought by thinking. If you think with these guys, you will fail. When you don't counterattack thoughts that has grown in your mind, it will become your behavior. Why? Because behavior is a belief system. Consistency comes from a system, not from a feeling. Consistency comes from a structure, not from a feeling. And so if you trade because you are broke and you need to make money, you won't make money. You have to put all feelings, all desires, all expectations aside and stick to the system. You see, the you that you make the public think you are is not the one behind the strategy. The you that you make Cliff think you are is not the one behind the strategy. It is the you that nobody knows, the one that if in case we were putting a secret camera on you, we will be surprised. Do you know why? Because that you is everything opposite to who a trader is meant to be. There is something in your brain called neural pathways. And when it goes through a process that changes your wiring, it's called neuroplasticity. That means the weak you can become strong again. And you see, the only way you can rewire your mind is what goes in, not what you ignore. The more you get something in, the more something leave. And the more something leave, the more you become. If you pick up a book and you are reading, the more books you pick up and read, the more ignorance leaves your body and your mind. Your brain is like a baby. You need to train it. So you are a failure. I am not a failure. Maybe right now I'm not getting the results I'm looking for, but I am not a failure. When you speak, it contradicts what your brain is doing. You have been
All right, so we're going to go into today's session now. I've placed my microphone somewhere that will make it comfortable for me to lead today's teaching very well, but try your best to let me know again in the comment section that if you guys can hear me loud and clear, correct here? All right, if you can hear me, just let me know by letting me know where you're tuning in from today. Just let me know where you're tuning in from today. We're going to be starting our new series. We're supposed to do our self-perception series, but I have interchanged it to let us go into the series I spoke about, which is the independent trader series. That is what we're going to be focusing on in the next couple of few weeks. And as soon as we are done with the independent trader series, we'll just basically go into our self-perception series. Super excited. I'm super excited to see what people can learn today. Perfect. Okay, so can we bring it up on the screen? Let me know where people are tuning in from, and then we'll just take it up from there. Ghana, Kasua, Ghana in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you for being here. From Labadi, Ghana, Real Makwood, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Cape Town, South Africa in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Truly appreciate it. First time, Thank you so much for being here. I promise by the grace of God, you will not leave this call the same way again. We have South Africa in the house as well. Who else do we have out there? Uganda, Nelson, thank you so much for tuning in, as always. Smart Trader, thank you for tuning all the way from the pad. Thank you. Thank you. We have United Kingdom. Thank you guys for tuning in every single Saturday. God truly bless you. I genuinely really appreciate you. God bless you so, so much. God bless you guys. God bless you. We have Swaka. Okay, I'm trying to pronounce this word. We have Canada House. Can we bring that in? I want to try to put that. We have Ajua from Canada. Thank you so much for tuning in as well. Can you go back to that name? I want to try. I want to put myself on a test and see if I can get it right. Divine from the UK. Welcome to today's session as well. Swakopong. I don't know. I'm trying. I think this is new for me. I'm going to try to basically pronounce it one day and I'll come back and I'll kill it. The best way to study is to fail fast. Okay, thank you so much. We have Kemi, Ugandan, and then Dubai. Okay, nice to meet you, Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I genuinely really appreciate, the effort, the time you guys put in. And that is why it is very important to me that when we do these master classes, I genuinely really want each and every single person to carry some level of value from this master class, truly. Today we're going to be learning something very powerful, but I really don't want anything to go anywhere. So I'm sure each and every single person on this call, you pray. And I want you guys to truly just say a word of prayer first, for yourself, second for me, that God will give me the grace needed to deliver this from every single bowels of wisdom that I have today. I'm praying, and I'm praying for you too as well, that God will give you the understanding today. I really, really want you to leave this call with the knowledge needed for your next level. Even though this is our episode 1, I truly pray from the bottom of my heart that episode 1 alone will do a lot for you. A lot. I pray for you. That God will give you the understanding. You will not waste your time. You will not waste your time in the industry of this so-called foreign business. You will not waste your time in the industry that you are in. You will not waste your time in your businesses. You will not waste your time on this masterclass. You will not waste your time in this season. But whatever that you will put your time into, you will benefit from it. Thank you, Father. Help me, oh God, and have mercy on this masterclass. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, before we go into the masterclass, I want to clarify something. Also, all those in Nigeria, the dates when we are going to go to Nigeria is going to be out very soon. Probably if it's not this coming week, next week, we will try and give the details very well. But I really want to do something. All the TP family women, we did our first ever TP family women event. It was a private event. We created the link, and then we did a TP family event specifically for women, I think a few weeks back. And it has been a request again and again and again from the women that they want to really have another session with me again, specifically for them. And I really want to honor all the females in this team. Some of them just love the atmosphere because they met each other and it was beautiful for them. And I want to really do that again for all the women, but it will not be fair to only do it for the women. So this time around, I also want to create another very special meeting again, also for the men. Men also wants to talk to people. Men also wants to have a special meeting, and I think that you also deserve it. So this time around, I'm going to organize both TP Masterclass VIP official private one for the women only, and then for the men, just make sure you are in our WhatsApp channel so that you can be able to get the details as soon as possible when we do send the links in. Okay. Now, another thing that I want to say is this is something that I just really want to clear some confusion also. I don't know. So please, if you are really part of this community, whether you are in my private mentorship program or you have been part of the TP Masterclass and the TP family community for a while, I want you to really listen to me, at this part here of the information I want to give. So, there are people who genuinely really they do not care about the effort we put in, the master classes that we are doing. They don't care. They will just, want to just say something just to tear people down. Genuinely, that is how they feel. And it is okay. It is the internet. You cannot really control everybody to feel a certain type of way about you, and which is perfectly fine. I'm saying this to say that, I think a couple of last week or so, there was a comment I saw later down the line, because I saw people replying that individual was trying to be rude to this community on, I think, one of our masterclass, and I saw the people trying to defend this community, and I like it, the fact that you love this community so much to defend. But what I will say is, people like this, they genuinely really don't know why they are even angry. They don't even know why they don't even like the things I teach or the things I say. They genuinely really don't know why. They just know they don't want to just like it. There are people who are genuinely like that. And it is very perfectly fine, with me. What I want to say is just have some grace upon them and some mercy on them. They really don't know what they are doing. The truth is, when somebody has believed something for so long and you come from nowhere, and then he sees you for the very first time, whatever, and he sees your video, he would just basically want to counterattack whether he has watched the masterclass or not. That is what the individual will do. And so on behalf of all the TP family members, you have the right to defend the community you love and you are proud of, and thank you, and I really appreciate you guys a lot. But then do it in love. Educate them, let them understand that they genuinely really are not in the wrong place, and even if they are, they can feel free to pass by. Nobody's going to hold them to subscribe to this channel. But I want you to do it out of a transformed mind, a mind that knows how to communicate effectively to an ignorant individual. People will not always be on the same side with you regardless. And so this is something I just wanted to say, and I want to pass on this to say that I've never stand anywhere to say that trading psychology is the only thing you must learn. I want to clarify something. I have never said anywhere that trading psychology is the only thing that a trader must learn. I never say that. What I'm saying is that trading psychology, you understanding your emotions, your behavior, your mindset, helps you to survive while trying to make money. So at the end of the day, a lot of people don't understand the purpose of even my channel. So when they come, their first mindset is not, let me try to understand what this gentleman is saying. Their first attack is, you are saying something we don't like, go away. And some of the mentors who also classify this channel to be a threat to their market, whatever market that may be, I don't know. Sometimes they do create these perception of comments by themselves. We have done investigation, and I'm telling you something. And so don't worry about these people. Focus on your transformation. Let them say whatever they want to say. Let them tell you, let them tell themselves, yeah, we don't trade. One guy made a comment one time and said, I am making the masterclass because of the YouTube. I kid you not. It is not necessary, but I kid you not. A month's money that the YouTube can make, it can't even pay one person in my team salary. It can't, genuinely, truly from the bottom of my heart. And so when I see comments like this, I laugh, but the reality is you will find people like this on the internet. My concern is the TP family. I want you to focus on yourself. If you want to defend this community by, correcting people, correct them with love, correct them with an understanding mind, knowing that not some of you watching me right now, once upon a time, you were not a big fan of these things. It took you a while before you said, you know what, let me just listen to what this man is saying. So have some, mercy on them, have some grace on them. They will catch up. When it will get to a point, they will also catch up. That is the first thing that I want to say. And I have never said trading psychology is the only thing that a person must learn. What I did say is that the infrastructures Every single industry has structures and the infrastructure. The structures are the things you see. The infrastructures are the things you don't see, but you can't deny their existence. And so many people that is watching me now, the things sometimes I say discourages people, and I understand. But the Bible says that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. What that simply means is that freedom is in truth. So if I come and I'm telling you the things that I want you to hear, I am only wasting your time. You need to hear the things that you need to hear. And so the reality is the infrastructures, which is the things you cannot really see, but they are there. And they are the things that control the systems of the industry. It was not built for the average retail trader. So when you walk into an office space of any professional portfolio firm, there are infrastructures, systems, people, levels of organization members, making sure that there are people who make sure there is money in the firm. There are people who make sure the money in the firm is well managed. There are people who make sure the opportunities are in the firm to be taken advantage of. There are people who make sure it's well managed from a risk point. These are infrastructures that at the end of the day makes the company grow. But you, the retail trader, the only infrastructure that the industry right now from a retail trading space has been able to produce is the infrastructures of technical knowledge, signal channels, Discord channels that talks about how to mark up the charts and so on and so forth. Channels that is able to tell you, hey, these are the brokerages that you can use. But the industry has been able to create those infrastructures to help people to find the right brokerages, to find the right strategies, I will say. But then that is not enough. That is all we are saying, that the technical aspect, it is not enough for you to become a well-ready trader, because technically speaking alone, you need more. For example, right now, if a company says they will not give you your money because of something that you did or whatever, where is the legal team who has set themselves aside only just to help retail traders? You will not find one. So you will go for the general lawyer who probably may not really understand Forex, but they will ask you certain questions. And if you want, they will follow you and so on. So there are little things that are not involved for the average retail trader. How many trading psychologists is setting aside to only help people psychologically without getting triggered to show their chart and try to show everything? It is not there. What about risk management? Show me a channel on YouTube that only talks about risk management. Because when the individual does that, people are going to attack him and say, why are you talking about risk management only? Show your chart. But the thing was not supposed to be like that. You were supposed to be able to consume technical side, the ability to build a career. That if you want to be able to know how to build your career, who would you listen to as a trader? All these things are not there. So when I say the infrastructures in the financial market is not built for the average retail trader to make money, what I'm trying to basically say that these infrastructures are supposed to be there. Right now, there are people who genuinely really knows how to trade, but there are no infrastructures that are supposed to support the individual who is talented to make money from their skill. So they say they call something prop firm, but you and I know that the system of the prop firm, it is not designed to give everybody wealth. It is the truth. I always ask people this. You know that the prop firm that you are trading is demo. You said yes. Do you know even if you pass, you are not still trading a live account? The person say yes. And I ask the individual, if you are not trading a live account and you are getting paid, where is the money coming from? It's common sense. So the actual business, we all know how the actual business works. So you need to be able to understand that these are all the infrastructures that are not structured yet for the average retail trader. So my contribution to the industry is what I am focusing on. Guys, it takes capacity. It takes discipline to focus, especially in this industry. focusing on something without losing that focus. So I am not saying, yes, there are people who comes to me and we give them a holistic transformation mentorship. But when I am on YouTube and I'm teaching the masses, my contribution is focused on you understanding your mindset, your emotions, and your behavior. Feel free to learn from other mentors. But my job is not that this is all that I can do. This is all I've decided to do to contribute to the building of a trader. So when I see other people's comment, this is what people have done to other people, that they are afraid to be able to focus on one thing for the average retail trader. So my goal was that you will come on YouTube and find a very technical analyst person you can follow on YouTube. If you do go to that person's mentorship, maybe they have all the package. But for the free version of the YouTube, that you can find a technical person, his name is John. You can find a risk management person, his name is Mike. And you can find a trading psychologist, his name is Cliff. And you can find a data collection analyst, somebody who can analyze the profit factor from your P&L to your risk to reward ratio, clearly show you the scalability of your platform. And when you follow all these 4 people, none of them is contradicting each other, and you are growing as a trader. This was my goal, and it is still my goal. So I never said only listen to me and you'll be profitable. No, I said I am a contribution to the infrastructure that needs to be built in this industry. Ladies and gentlemen, if you understand the little explanation I've given, so when somebody is saying, why is he only talking about trading psychology? You can educate the person and say, no, that is not what he is saying. He is saying X, Y, Z. So therefore, he has done over 61 episodes of masterclasses. It cut across every single area that will be able to transform you as an individual. You feel free to listen or you don't. Are you with me, guys? If you understand what I'm saying, drop the number 1 in the chat for me. Very important that you understand this. Very good. All right then. Now we are going to start a very important series today. This series, I have a goal for this series, and I'm praying that God will be able to help me to achieve the series goal I want. We are going to be taking some couple of few goals here, a few notes here and there. I'm trying to make sure this series is not long. I'm really trying to make sure this series is not long. I mean, it's not long as in I don't want to do more than 5 parts because I really want to end the first half of our masterclass in a way that I can finish this and finish the self-perception. So I want to end with the self-perception as the last series we will do before we go on a break and come back again this year and finish it off by the grace of God this year. Are you guys with me? Okay. I'm ready to teach. If you are ready to learn, declare to yourself wherever you are that I'm ready to learn. For me, I'm ready to teach. If you are ready to learn, declare to yourself wherever you are that you are ready to learn. I am ready to teach. If you are ready to learn, declare to yourself that you are ready to learn. Okay. So today we're going to be starting our series, and the title of our series is The Independent Trader. Kindly please write it down, The Independent Trader. The Independent Trader. Trader. Please write it down, The Independent Trader. Write down The Independent Trader. Will you bring my screen up for me, please, from time to time again? Thank you. The Independent Trader. Solomon, try to be bringing my screen up for me from time to time again. Thank you. The independent trader. The independent trader. I want you guys to understand something. By the end of this series, well, my purpose of this episode truly is that you understand and structures. So by the end of this series, that is my goal. My goal is that you will understand facts and you will understand structures. I really, really want to let you know that the things we are going to be learning here on this stream, this episode, especially this episode, this specific episode, I want you to understand the facts and the structures. That means what the industry is, where retail traders, basically sit within it, why operating without this knowledge will produce an unstable, will produce instability, let me put it that way, regardless of your skill level. You need foundation. It's like when somebody wants to basically learn how to be able to speak English. You don't just start by learning words. You need to start by learning alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you just basically start learning words. Then you start forming sentences. Eventually, you now start to know how to speak correct grammar. By knowing how to input the right adjective, verbs, nouns, pronouns, and so on and so forth. So there must be a foundation, and that is what I want to do in this episode 1. So in the episode 1, my title for today is The Foundation. So we are basically talking about the independent trader is the series. So the independent trader is the series. In this episode, I want you to really understand the facts and the structures. But in this episode 1, I want to title it The Foundation. Please don't get confused. This is a masterclass, so the more you write, the better you understand. So the name of the series is the Independent Series. But then this particular episode, I titled it The Foundation. And I want to be able to, I wrote down some couple of few things here. I wanted to really organize the series for you to know exactly what you're going to be learning. So this is the first thing we need to get into our head. This is not a motivational series. I am not here to motivate you, to tell you that you can do this. People sometimes ask me the question and say, Cliff, can everybody be a trader? Everybody can learn how to become a trader, but if everybody can be a trader, it's not something I would say yes or no to. It's just let's see how it goes. Because it's not the skill alone is not enough to be a trader. You need to have some certain traits within you that makes you a good trader. It's like Cristiano Ronaldo flying in the air to do a bicycle kick. You don't teach that in the academy and say, hey, here's how you always stand here and do. Those things are intuitions. That is what makes the individual better, good, great, a GOAT. So those things, they are intuitions. And the intuitions are the things that really makes an individual to become the trader they want to become. You need to have a critical thinking mindset. These things we don't teach it. It's either you have it or you don't. Does that make sense? So this is not a motivational series. This is not tips and tricks series. This is a structured knowledge. It's very important that you understand it. This is a structured knowledge. So this is the kind where by the end of this series, you will know what to learn, when to learn those things, how to learn them, how to apply them. My goal is to give you foundational convictions. Let me put it that way. Are you guys with me? So I want you to write this down, that this series, please write this down, that this series, it exists. So this series exists to complete what your trading education left out. So it doesn't mean that I am about to teach you something you may not have heard before. I am only just coming in to add something so that it will click in your mind a little bit. For example, there are people
that are watching me right now that they normally will come on a call with me and they would tell me, Cliff, are you a swing trader? They would say, are you a swing or a scalper? A swing trader or a scalper? Or are you a what? Intraday position, whatever. So intra, we put an intra here. And I would tell the individual, so let's say somebody your whole life, you are thinking you are supposed to either be a swing trader, a scalper, or an intraday trader. So you come onto the call and I tell you, the most dangerous things to do in this industry or any other industry is to make a strategy an identity. What do I mean? You don't need to be a swing trader. You need to do swing trading. You don't need to be a scalper. You need to do scalping. You don't need to be an intraday trader. You do intraday trading. Are you guys with me? What I mean by that is this. Watch this, right? The moment you connect this to your identity, you are going to start either feeling worth it or not worth it based on this. So this is not something that you are, this is something you do. So when you go to a shop, I've said this several times, that when you go to a shop and the shop is trying to give a discount, if let's say the shop is giving a discount of let's say 50%. If the shop is giving a discount of 50% because they are trying to get rid of their winter clothes, okay? If they are trying to get rid, so first of all, let me apologize for this handwriting. You know, this is how there is something that happens to a person when you go through pharmacy school as well. So some of you don't know this. That is also something that it is in our track record. So by the time you learn how to finish writing Latin, something happens to your handwriting. So forgive me, but open your eyes, you will see it. So let's say you go to a shop and they are giving a 50% discount to get rid of their winter clothes. It does not make the shop, it does not make the shop now a discount shop. Is that true? The shop only used discount strategy to get rid of winter clothes. That is all. To just get rid of the winter clothes. Okay? So the shop has not become a discount shop. You don't call the shop a discount shop. You call the shop by name. It can be, let's say, A&T shop. A&T shop. It is still called A&T shop. The shop only gave a 50% discount, only just to get rid of the winter clothes. So there are several things that many people right now are thinking it is a strategy, but it is not. And that is what I always tell people, that a strategy is not a concept. So normally when you Google trading strategies, what you will normally see is swing, scalping, intraday position, blah, blah, blah. But people have, retail traders has now connected this into an identity. Oh, are you a swing trader or a scalper? I say, no. If the trade classify me to swing, why not? If it classify me to scalp, why not? If I close early, why would I close early? Imagine as soon as I enter the trade and God gives you $100,000. Yes, it was scalped, but are you a scalper? No, you just did scalp. So many people are always like, oh my God, because I'm a scalper. I'm like, what do you mean? Yes, you may not have the traits to scalp. Does not mean that it means you're not a scalper. You are just clear who did scalp and didn't do scalp. And you guys with me? So that is one example of clearing that concept for your mind. So there are strategies that you apply to make money, and there are concepts you use to understand structure and biases. Some of the concepts is what you will call the ICTs and the ICTs, the SMCs, and the pure price actions, and the institutional ways of trading, blah, 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 indicators, whatever. They are all concepts to be able to get you to understand how to analyze the structure of the market. But the actual strategies is different from what people think. Does that make sense? And also, let's say people will come to me, let me give another example. They will say, Cliff, how do I risk, risk management? So some people are, I call this the CMA. So CMA risk definition that I give. What I mean by that is we have conservative, Then we have medium risk, people who are not aggressive, they are not, neither are they conservative, so they are like in between. Then we have aggressive. So you can ask an individual and say, which one of them are you? The person can be like, for me, I'm a conservative trader. For me, I am a medium risk trader. For me, I'm an aggressive. For me, I tell people, again, don't make this an identity kind of a conversation. Conservative is conservative, medium is medium, aggressive is aggressive. One trader can do all of these three at the same time. You don't need to choose one unless you are choosing it based on your traits. So an individual can come to me and they can be conservative. They can trade from a conservative risk. They can trade from a medium risk. They can tolerate aggressive. So that's what we call the risk tolerance. So the individual understands all this. So Cliff, what do you mean by this? Let's say, for example, you have $10,000 in your account and you have the right to be able to risk 1,000 the whole month. So this is what many people don't understand. So risk management is not just about using 0.01 or 0.10. Good risk management is the ability for you to diversify your portfolio or diversify your assets in a way that you are able to survive in between seasons. I will explain what I mean. So let's say somebody comes to me. Please watch this. This is very important. Somebody's deliverance is coming here. Watch. So let's say you have $10,000 in your account and you tell yourself, okay, I have $10,000. I'm about to go into the month of April. So the month of April, I have $10,000. What is proper risk management? Proper risk management is you choosing a portion of this and saying, I'm only risking the whole entire month. I'm only risking $1,000. The whole entire of the month, you are risking $1,000. Now, this $1,000, for me, people will sometimes ask me, Cliff, now what I'm about to say, let me put a disclaimer. I am not saying risk all your money, but I'm going to also be very honest with you. It is likely almost impossible to really make a crazy amount of money as a trader without some point risking. Now, I am not basically saying you should go risk, but I'm telling you the truth. That every trader you know, every hedge fund trader you know, yes, they apply proper risk management. But the people that we do know their name, at some point they took a risk of believing a company early, a risk of putting majority of their assets in shorting the Bank of England, or trying to go into an asset that if it would have gone sideways, they will be in trouble. That is the truth. So if you come to me and you tell me, Cliff, I have $10,000, I'm okay. This month, April, let's take 1,000 out. Win this 1,000. You have different grades of trades. So this is conservative, this is medium, and then this is aggressive. What I would tell the individual, after we have been able to understand that this individual can be able to handle all the CMA, which is conservative, medium, aggressive, I tell you, look, you are a trader. At some point, you are going to see a good move. You don't want to see one of the most powerful moves in the industry. That comes once in a while. It doesn't come all the time. And you only make $15. This is just a reality. You will not even feel satisfied. So watch this. This individual comes to me. They have $10,000. And I said, okay, take 1,000 out for the month of April. If at the month of April, if by the middle of April, you've lost all the 1,000, hey, we have to be able to, pause for the month. That is the reality. Now watch. What I would tell this individual is to basically take at least $500. So this $500 is the only thing that will be used to be risking the person's conservative risk. That means this $500 is the kind of portion of the money every single time that you are trading from your Monday to your Friday. If you are doing intraday, you are only using a portion from this $500 from the 1,000 to be risking this. It can be in the same account, or you can separate it. That's up to you. But I'm just only showing you a conviction that can let you see a proper risk management. So now the $500, you are using it to be risking only conservative trades that you are not really there. You are not really thinking it's a move, but you are following your pattern. Because you and I know that even though no trade is special than the other, there are still some trades from an intuition point of view. Only traders who have that sentiment can tell this is it. Like you can feel it. It may come out as gambling, but that is how every footballer, every LeBron James, every Cristiano Ronaldo, that is how they became the GOATs, their intuition. So that is there. But the 500 is what you are using. This is where your daily loss will come from your back-to-back trades. This is where your weekly losses or overall loss from the conservatives that will be for the month of April out of this 1,000. Then you can give only, let's say, probably $200 to your medium. The medium here, I will call it the setup. They're not really sure. It's like B minus B. It's like you still want to take it, but you're like, if this trade lose, I knew that it was not going to go there. So you have $200 allocated for this. Then you have $300. This one here, you can either divide it into two, so they can get 2 chances, or you can do it just one time. Now, what I'm saying here does not mean go blow the money, but the truth is, if you are afraid of losing, you cannot make no money. Scared money makes no money is the reality. So watch this. Initially, what people do is that they don't have their risk defined. So this is what we call risk definition. You know exactly which amount is going into what. So you can give yourself $300 for that month period. Now, some people are going to say, what about after we have $100? Well, in trading, that's why I said today we're talking about the truth. In trading, I cannot be able to do magic for you. So we need to have room to take the risk. We need to have room to be able to make the right decision. That is why the prop firm uses the same system and calls some things daily loss limit and overall maximum loss. So they have defined the risk for you. As a trader, you need to define the risk. You need to know the amount of money you are willing to even lose in the month. You need to know the amount of money you are willing to lose in the week. And you need to know the amount of money you're going to risk per each grading of a trade setup. So there are trades, you know, this one I'm not really sure. Give only $200. So in this $200, if you are risking only $50 out of this, you have 4 chances for setups like this. If you are doing 50 here, you have how many? Multiple chances in over here. Here, you can either give yourself 2 chances or 1 chance. The trader. So now you are still able to have a way to play aggressive for the moves you are sure of by your intuition. It might be that the whole entire month that kind of trade didn't show up. It's fine, but you have your risk defined. So now next time when somebody talks about risk management, don't see it as something that you only do to choose only 0.01. You must define your risk. Some of you watching me right now is like, Cliff, I don't know why I'm over trading, because the money you made, you saw maybe your risk to reward ratio is 1:5. And after all the trade, you only made $50. So in your heart, you're like, but imagine if you had enough capital set aside just for moves like that. Cliff, how would you know this is the move? That is where you being a trader comes in. You don't teach that. There are moves I have taken. It didn't only just come from the fact that I can analyze the market. It came from an intuition as well. I'm like, man, I've seen this over and over again. I feel like this is it. You feel it in you, in your bones. And those trades, normally they happen. But it can also go south. That is why you are defining your risk. This is not my teaching. This is just a deliverance. I don't know why I've been here today. But are you guys learning something? If you learned something from this example I gave you, just drop some ones in the chat. Are you guys getting this? If somebody learned something from this alone, drop some number ones in the chat, let me know. So when we get to the other, I think part 3 or episode 3 of the series, we'll talk more about risk. But I just want you to understand that you may have heard about risk management before, but this alone can do something to your mind. You'll be like, so that is why sometimes, I wish I could have taken this trade. So the purpose of this is so that you prepare yourself so that you don't psychologically get damaged. Because number one is either you are making money and the money is not enough for you, or you are making aggressive risk and you are blowing the whole entire thing. So even if you lose this money in the month of April early, you still have your 500 and your 700 as the risk points. So you are still there. Even if you lose half of this, you still have this and you can use this to build the account. Then when you get to the point, you go again. So you are building. This is a business. So you need to define risk management. Okay. My God, somebody's life is changing. A trader's life is changing. Truly, a trader's life is changing. You see, this is why it is important. It will be very selfish when you're coming onto this call and you come alone. Because this alone is somebody's answer. It's like, I didn't think about this. Somebody's answer. This is it. So you have to define risk. Risk is not something that risk is not just 0.01. 0.01, when would you use 0.01 to build a house? It doesn't work like that. So yes, when I'm on course like this, I will not be able to talk about aggressive because I don't want somebody to go and cut just that part. That Philip is saying you are supposed to go aggressive in some trades, and they will just cut that one part and they will say, look at what the trading psychologist is saying. So because of that, I don't normally want to talk about these things generally on the call because many people will not sit down and listen to the whole entire message. They will just catch one part and just bully you with it, So these things are things that I want to really teach. So what are we going to be having by the end of this masterclass? Please write it down. By the end of the Independent Trader Series. So remember what I said we are doing. We are talking about the independent trader. The independent trader. The independent trader. So that is the name of our series. It's called the Independent Trader. But today we are talking about the foundation. But before we go in, by the end of the Independent Trader series, what I want us to do is this is the foundation. So the part one, today we are looking at the foundation. The part one today, we are looking at the foundation. The part one today, we are looking at the foundation. Part two, we will look at what I call the technical edge. We will talk about edge, but from a technical standpoint. Knowing not just what to do, but why it works structurally. You need to understand. Then part three or episode three, we will look at the behavioral edge. Are you guys with me? So this is what, so you know the blueprints, because I want to build the curriculum for you guys. Many people sometimes don't understand why I take my time to teach like this. As a teacher, I am obligated to really make sure you don't get confused in your head. So people think that all I do is just talk. It's not true. I need to know how to navigate words and structures in your mind that you don't end up in confusion. It's a very, very delicate job. You have to be careful because one missing of the structure, you are just confused the person for no reason. And this is why the way I am as a person, I know some people sometimes say, why do you speak with so much confidence? And this, it's not confidence, it's passion. If you understand certain emotions, you confuse. There is a difference between confidence and passion. So sometimes, if because of me, the way I speak, you don't like me, and that means you will not watch the masterclass, you are the trader who is going to suffer the knowledge. It's not my fault. Does that make sense? So just understand human behavior. I'm not perfect. So if you see me speaking like this, it's out of passion. I'm not speaking just only out of confidence. But if my confidence also disturbs you, then that is on you. Because I believe that I'm the head and not the tail. I believe I'm a coach. So when I come and I'm speaking, it's up to you. My belief system is that. So behavioral edge, that is the next third episode we'll look at. Episode 4 will be the risk edge. Then 5 will be the data edge. We will look at the data edge. These are the things I'm going to be talking about. So this is where we will talk about back testing and all of that. Many people will be asking, Cliff, how do you really back test? Blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about that in the data edge. Then I'm thinking if that time, if this series has been able to be received well by you guys, maybe I'll add one bonus of scaling up your portfolio as a conversation. But this is how the structure is going to be. Foundation is what we are looking at today. Then the technical edge, then the behavioral edge, the risk edge, and data edge. Are you guys with me? Perfect. Now, I want to talk about something. While I was just preparing this, I wanted to be able to prepare you guys your mind to understand that whenever we are doing the series, we've done 2 series this year already, belief system series and identity series. If you have not watched it, you should go watch it. But it is very important that even though I will come prepared, there are some things that can still stop you from getting there. That we have all started today and we are all going to keep on pushing. But there are people who will not get there to where I want to take you guys to. So I wrote down some different types of cognitive biases, because if I don't do this, then this community is not a trading psychology or a transformation community. As TP family, you already know that I will have to teach about this. So there are reasons why you may not get to the point to receive the structured knowledge I want to give. One of the first reasons why I wrote down is the family familiarity bias. Number one, why is it that somebody can finish all this information that we are about to learn, and at the end of the day, that individual can still say, I don't know why, but this thing didn't make me an independent trader? It is because of familiarity bias. You know, there is an assumption that because you have heard something before, you already understand it, but it is not true. And it is one of the most dangerous positions that a trader can occupy. So maybe you have heard pieces of what is in this series, but you have not been able to build a complete structure. I am here to do that for you. So there is a difference between exposure and understanding. One of the masterclasses, I spoke about how to receive knowledge, and I said the first step is exposure. That is what I am doing here. But there is a way that you need to also give your attention so that you can be able to receive. Derek Abaite, when he came onto our masterclass, he said something like this: if you want to be able to receive, there is something that you need to do. So you need to be able to understand that exposure, ladies and gentlemen, is not understanding. Hearing is not knowing. So you can be exposed to something and still not get understanding. And you can also hear something and still not know anything about that. So make sure that you kill every familiarity bias syndrome. Very important. Number two is impatience with foundations. Very important. Why you may not receive. Impatience. Does that make sense? Impatience is the thing. So while I'm talking about the foundation, you are like, I wish we can talk more about this. These days I already know. Relax. Because I'm building something. We are building a system. So even though you may know some certain things from the foundational standpoint, don't say, oh, it is okay. No, it is very important. So impatience also can sometimes stop you from getting there, because a foundation is not what you learn first. It's what must be corrected for everything else to work. Because there are some people that is going to be listening to me and you have heard the things that I'm saying before, but hear it again and let it enter you. So number three, because of impatience. Number two, because of impatience. Number three is also because of emotional investment in your existing beliefs. Emotional investments in your existing beliefs. Very important. Emotional investment in your existing beliefs. Especially those who have been trading for years. The things that you will hear from here will contradict the things that I may say. And you also need to forgive me, because I may say it in a way that may not capture all the conviction I may want to give, but just be, logical also in the context, that I will not say something that will deviate you, but also don't think that everything that I will say that your brain does not believe simply means it is an error. Sit down and analyze it. Open your hearts. So because of emotional investment in your existing beliefs, imagine somebody has been told that you need to just choose one way of a risk. And I'm telling you, you can diversify your risk into the CMA framework I just showed you. Conservative, medium, aggressive. Know when you are conservative. Know when you are medium space. So the risk is not about what you do. It's about defining the money that you are willing to put on that risk. Somebody will be like, no, but he has not even tried it. But they will never try it. Maybe you will try it and it will change your whole entire business. But they will say no, because their existing beliefs, they have so much been emotionally invested into it. And the last one is consuming without reconstructing. So consuming without restructuring. Consuming without restructuring. Consuming without restructuring. Consuming without restructuring. That means knowledge without restructuring becomes noise. That is why there is a formula into really getting results done as an individual. You need to be ready to unlearn. You need to be ready to relearn and keep learning.
Learn, relearn, and then keep learning. Very important. Are you guys with me? Very good. So during the foundation, I will not really be doing much today other than just bringing some things into the right perspective. So today's topic under the Independent Trader series, as I said, the foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Are you guys ready? If you're ready, drop some ones in the chat. Let's begin this. So the first one is the foundation. Very important. The foundation. The first thing that I would like to do is to make a point and say that you need to be able to understand that the financial market is not a neutral, it's not a neutral open space. Let me put it that way. The financial market is not a neutral open space. It is not a place where you can just show up and take money. It is a structured ecosystem. So the financial market is not a neutral open space. It is a structured ecosystem. So every participant, quote unquote, you have a part to play. You are positioned. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, you are positioned. So, you know, even those who are not even intentionally part of the financial market, they are positioned. You know, there are people who not intentionally buy and sell the market, or there are people who will not intentionally, there are people who will not intentionally, I will share my screen again. All right, guys. There are people who will not intentionally buy and sell in the financial market because they think that they are not meant to trade. But one thing they don't know is that they are still part of the financial markets because they are buying and selling things. They are traveling, they are exchanging money, and so on and so forth. So whether you like it or not, you are part of the financial market. It is just a reality. Whether you like it or not, you are part of the financial market. Does that make sense? So the first thing that I want you to write down is whether we like it or not, we are already part of the financial market. Whether you write it or you don't write it, I want that thing to ring into your head. Whether you like it or not, you are part of the financial markets. Please write it down. Whether you like it or not, you are already part of the financial markets. Are you guys with me? Whether you like it or not, you are already part of the financial market. What do I mean by that? Imagine somebody who is traveling all the way from any part of the world, Canada, because there are people here, Nepal, so on and so forth. You exchange money. When you exchange money, you are part of the financial market. When somebody sends you money from abroad, that is the financial market exchange. So you are part of the financial market, whether you like it or not. If Mercedes wants to buy raw materials, from, let's say, India, if Mercedes wants to buy raw materials from India and they want to exchange money, they are going to have to exchange euros with rupee. You cannot just basically just say, hey, just take the euros. They have to do a cross, exchange. So all these things is a financial market thing. So many people sometimes think, for me, I don't trade. Yes, you're not intentionally doing that, but you are somehow positioned whether you like it or not. The whole entire globe
in the nations of the world, we run on financial ecosystem. It is just a reality. Are you guys with me? Good. And so every single person needs to understand that the financial market is not a neutral, open space where anyone can just show up and take money. It is a structured ecosystem with a predefined hierarchy, and every participant has a position in it. So let us define the word ecosystem. I want to define the word ecosystem. Let's define ecosystem. Let's define the word ecosystem. I wrote down here and I want you to write it down. It is a system in which every participant, so it is a system whereby every participant, it is a system in where every participant has a defined role. Every participant has a defined role. Ecosystem, it is a system in which every participant, I'm talking about the ecosystem of the financial market. It is a system in which every participant has a defined role and where the behavior of each layer directly affects every layer below it. So what I simply want you to understand is this, is that the markets, understand this, that the markets, the one that you are part of, it is not an open field. It is not an open field, it is an ecosystem. And every ecosystem in every single thing in this world has a hierarchy. Very important that you understand this. So every single ecosystem, in every single thing that we do, there is a hierarchy. And the way the hierarchy of the financial market is arranged in a way that I would say is a fair definition of the hierarchy's arrangements. So you will find at the top of the hierarchy, I've said this before, but I'm sure some of you know it. Again, don't assume you know what I'm talking about, just right. We have what we call the major banks. We have what we call the major banks. The major banks. And the major banks in countries, we know that they are mostly responsible for monetary policies. So remember, why are we talking about this? We started by saying that the foundation, the first thing I want you to understand is that the space or the industry that we are in is structured and it has an ecosystem. And we said an ecosystem is a system in the industry that shows that there are participants and each participant has a defined role. Are you with me? And that brought us to the hierarchy point of the conversation. And now we are understanding that the hierarchy of this business, the top of the hierarchy, we have what we call the major banks. You can call them by names as you know them. We have the JP Morgans, Citibanks, the HSBC, they are all Federal Reserve Bank, they are all basically big banks. Then we have what we call the EBS. So we have the EBS, the electronic brokerage services.
Now that you guys are sitting here, I am not teaching you. You are using me to learn you, because psychology is not what I teach you. It's what you learn about you. As a trader, your mindset plays an important role. Because when your brain is exhausted, your emotions will spike. If your emotions spike, your decisions will swift. It's a law. In trading, the person that is able to say I'm wrong quickly is the one that makes the money. I'm wrong. Cut it. Don't even think twice. Cut it. But you see, that is where those four guys that I explained to you, the dopamine guy and then the amygdala guy, you need to shut them down immediately. And how do you do that? You don't beat a thought by thinking. If you think with these guys, you will fail. When you don't counterattack thoughts that has grown in your mind, it will become your behavior. Why? Because behavior is a belief system. Consistency comes from a system, not from a feeling. Consistency comes from a structure, not from a feeling. And so if you trade because you are broke and you need to make money, you won't make money. You have to put all feelings, all desires, all expectations aside and stick to the system. You see, the you that you make the public think you are is not the one behind the strategy. The you that you make Cliff think you are is not the one behind the strategy. It is the you that nobody knows, the one that if in case we were putting a secret camera on you, we will be surprised. Do you know why? Because that you is everything opposite to who a trader is meant to be. There is something in your brain called neural pathways. And when it goes through a process that changes your wiring, it's called neuroplasticity. That means the weak you can become strong again. And you see, the only way you can rewire your mind is what goes in, not what you ignore. The more you get something in, the more something leave. And the more something leave, the more you become. If you pick up a book and you are reading, the more books you pick up and read, the more ignorance leaves your body and your mind. Your brain is like a baby. You need to train it. So you are a failure. I am not a failure. Maybe right now I'm not getting the results I'm looking for, but I am not a failure. When you speak, it contradicts what your brain is doing. You have been watching social media, addicted to it for 5 years, and you think that mind can trade easily? No, chief. It's not easy. You are going to make it, but you are going to have to understand that these things will hijack you. Wherever you are right now, you have not decided to be a trader. You just want money from trading. Cliff, what do you mean? When you decide you want to do something, everything else that will stop you from becoming that thing must die.
What TP Masterclass really is. TP Masterclass is a transformation masterclass that happens every Saturday. It is designed to reshape the way you think, the way you respond, and the way you perform, not just in trading, but in any industry where your mind plays a major role. Even though anyone can benefit from it, the majority of people you'll find here are traders. Why? Because trading is one of the few fields where your mindset, your emotions, and your discipline are tested every single day. Every session blends psychological lessons that help you understand your thinking and your behavior, spiritual lessons that strengthen your inner conviction and identity, practical lessons that give you structure and direction in real life.
And clear? If you guys can hear me, drop some ones in the chat. Sorry about that. Because we are using technical stuff, it's obvious that there will be some technical difficulties from time to time again. If it happens again, forgive me, but just be patient with us. We will get through it. Anyway, so where were we? So we started by understanding that this industry, it is not a neutral place to be. We have come to realize that there is a whole entire hierarchy to this business. So there are participants and there are defined roles. So we have the hierarchy. In the hierarchy, we started by talking about how we have the major banks and the EBS, and so we have the major banks, we have the EBS. We already defined some of the examples. I'm sure you guys already know this already. Then we have some EBS here. Then we have the medium-sized banks. I'm going to just quickly run through this quickly. Then we'll take it out from there. Then we have the corporations, you know, the corps, the individuals, successful individuals, Warrens, and the Elon Musk, and the pension funds and the hedge funds. And at the bottom of the hierarchy, you will find a retail trader. Okay? So at the bottom of the hierarchy, in this hierarchy that I'm explaining, you will find the average retail trader in the context of that sort. Are you guys with me? So let me go over one more time again so that we'll be able to make sure we are there. So every layer in this hierarchy, can you guys hear me? When I speak, can you hear? Okay. Perfect. So every layer in this hierarchy exists to serve the layer above. That is what I want you guys to be able to understand. So retail traders are at the bottom. It is not an insult. When we say that we are at the bottom of the hierarchy, we are not getting insulted, or we are not insulting ourselves. It is a positional fact.
And the moment that you as a retail trader, you understand this, you will stop behaving like you occupy one of the positions above here, but you don't. So the first reason why I am showing you this hierarchy is because of what I call positional awareness. It's like having a friend and they are your friend, or the individual is your friend, and then they come to your house and they think just because they are your friend, they can do anything that they want. The more they keep on misbehaving, in your mind, you start to be like, these people, do they know that they are in so and so and this and this and that? Because in your mind, you are expecting them to behave. And the only way they will behave is when you position them in a way that they have to behave well. So we call something positional awareness. That means knowing where you actually operate within the system and making decisions that are consistent with that reality. Just write that down. It means knowing where you as an individual, you actually operate within the system. So you need to understand that where you are operating within the system is very important. When you are able to have that consciousness of knowing where you are operating from within that system, it makes your decisions. It makes your decisions to become consistent with that reality. Are you guys with me? So the moment that you understand your positional awareness, it makes your decisions consistent with that reality. Because as a trader, I always say this to people all the time, that the number one thing that you're about to do in this business is make decisions. You are a decision maker. So the moment that you understand the position you are operating from, it makes your decision making easier in the context of how realistic your decisions must be. Are you with me? Very important that you understand this. And so you can, let's pick an employee who doesn't understand. Let's say we pick up an employee who doesn't understand. Are you guys still here with me? Because I want to make sure this thing doesn't. Let's see. Solomon, is everybody hearing me clearly? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Now let's talk. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, you have an employee. Okay. Okay. You guys can hear me. I can see that. Thank you very much. Let's say a new employee who doesn't understand the company structure. That individual may behave though they have authority they don't have. So even though they are trying to do their job, it can get them fired, not because they are bad. It's just that they needed to understand the position they are in that company. So understanding the structure prevents ignorant behavior. So many people can make poor decisions, not necessarily because they are bad. It's just that they don't understand the reality of where they are. So sometimes I will hear a retail trader saying, yeah, you know, I have a prop firm I'm trading. And it is nothing, chief. You are trading a demo account. I hear you. That is all that you are doing. You bought a demo account. But Cliff, if you pass, they will give you the money. Yes, but you are trading a demo account. So these are the realities when you talk about like this. Many people try to attack you. The fact that they are paying you does not mean that you are not trading a demo account. It is there in the contract. They have told you what you are trading is just a simulation account. It's a demo account. They didn't lie about that fact. So these are the kind of convictions, or in other words, realities many traders don't want to understand. Yes, you need to understand that the brokerage, they will pay you, but you need to understand what type of broker you are using. So I remember one time I was teaching people about the different type of brokerages. Somebody came from nowhere and said, how does me knowing the brokerage I am using going to help me to make money? This is still the same person that is going to come and ask me, is manipulation in the space? You need to understand that in the trading space, there are A booking and there are B booking. These things won't help you to make money, but they are foundational truth. They are foundational truth that helps you to make decisions well. So the purpose of why we are learning this, they may not necessarily help you to make money on Monday. But if you don't have these convictions, your decision making will come from a place of ignorance. So yes, you are right. The things I may be teaching concerning this hierarchy, it will not help you to make money on Monday. But you are now wondering where you are not confident in the market. It's because your knowledge is small. That is it. Your research knowledge is small. It is small. As a trader, you need to be able to understand that some certain things, it is like going to school. When I remember during the beginning of I think that was my pharmacy journey in the beginning. And I remember very well when we were studying pharmacology. Before the pharmacology, we started studying so many different things that I was wondering what was the point of this. Until I realized it doesn't have to have a point. It just needs to have a foundation within you. It has to have a foundation within you. Foundation is very important. And many people don't understand that. So yes, be patient and understand the things that I'm teaching. You will get to understand that. So it is like, so when you don't know your position in anything, in a system, in a house, in a business, whatever, you behave as though you occupy a position that you don't have. So that misalignment is where most retail traders' damage begins. I saw a comment from an individual from LinkedIn, and he said, he was making a very bold claim. And he said that for him, if you follow him, you are going to be successful because for him, he doesn't speculate. That sentence alone is wrong. Because as retail trader, you are a speculator. Your decisions is purely speculation based. You don't know what will happen in the market. Everything to you is 50-50. So if you make money today, it came out of a 50-50 chance connected to a risk management that has a higher level of a risk to reward ratio with a repeatable system you call an edge. This is what makes your business a business. If somebody invests into a real estate company right now, it's a 50-50 chance. The only reason why that 50-50 chance of making money or losing money may be possible for the individual in the positive way depends on where they invested in that building. The area matters. The company, the construction company matters. But as far as the business is concerned, it's 50-50. So when I saw the individual's wording, when he said, for me, I don't speculate, I said, Chief, you are already a speculator by fact because of the position you are in. So that already should tell you that whether you get it right today or not, it didn't come from a place of you being a goat. It came from a place of you being a person who followed the system and you made money. That is it. You are a speculator. As a retail trader, you are a speculator. You are speculating. You said it will buy. Speculation. It didn't buy. No problem. Speculate again. Are you guys with me? So we need to understand that. Are you with me? Number one's in the chat. Perfect. So when you know your position, it helps you a lot. Now, one of the things that I'm going to say now, I really hope that you don't, I really hope that you people don't misunderstand me, guys. Sorry about that for a second for today. I don't know why this is behaving like that, but we are going to bring the whiteboard on the screen, and just try your best to make sure that you are hearing me. Okay, let's just, is it okay for you guys? Please, Solomon, can you just let me know in the comments if they understand this for today? It is unfortunate that it is like that for today, but let me focus. If not, I will lose being distracted. You guys can hear me, correct? If you can hear me, just drop some number ones in the chat. I will come back to the screen later on, but let us focus on what I'm teaching with the whiteboard so that the team can fix the technical issue for me. Is that okay for you guys? So the one, try to bring it up on the screen and know that they're okay with it, and then we can just focus on the teaching for a second. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, so then let us focus on the teaching and then I will come on the video when the team they are able to fix the technical stuffs. Okay, perfect. So the issue right now that I want you to understand is this: is that retail traders, what I'm basically trying to tell you is that retail traders do not have direct access. Retail traders do not actually have direct access to the financial markets. They are the average retail trader is connected to a chain of entities that do. So what I mean by that is, if this is the financial market, watch my screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is very important that this time you need to be watching my screen so that you understand very well. Watch this. Watch. So if this is the financial market, you, the retail trader, you are not here. You can put yourself here, but in reality, I'm showing you something. That average individual, Solomon, if there is anything that is coming on the screen that I need to know, let me know, because I can see. Thank you, because I want to make sure people can see my screen very well, and then we can be able to make sure we're going on. Is that okay? Perfect. So watch this, guys. The first thing you need to be able to understand is this context here. Understand this. You are not necessarily part of the financial markets. Let's say if this is the financial market, you are not here. You, the retail trader, you are here at the bottom of the hierarchy. And you are connected to a brokerage. And the brokerage is what is inside the space. So this is you. So every single time that you, the average retail trader, every time that you delete your brokerage account, you are out. You didn't even exist in the first place. So it is the brokerage that is connected to the platform or the industry, and you are the one connected to the brokerage, and the brokerage is connecting you to this. Is somebody learning? So this is the retail trader. Logically, think about it. You don't exist. They don't know you. They don't know you are called Mike, John, whatever. Nobody knows you. They know brokerages, yes, but no, the financial market, you don't have a whole entire CPU in your house. You don't provide your own liquidity. You don't have enough buying power. So you are not necessarily connected to the industry. You are connected to the chain. You are connected to the chain. Are you guys with me? The chain. So you, the retail trader, if this is where you are as the chain, all right, then we have the retail brokerage. Then on the chain, we have the liquidity provider. So that is why when you come to the retail brokerage space, as I said, we have the SCP or the ECN brokerages, and we have the hybrid, people who are both, and we have the market makers, different type of brokerages, market maker brokerages, market makers. So, and then the whole entire retail brokerage, so the market maker, they are able to produce their own liquidity. Stay with me. So there are market maker brokerages. There are some that we all know, but I'm not going to mention their name for the sake of, I'm not recommending anything. But there are some brokerages that are market maker brokerages. That means that they are able to provide their own liquidity in-house. So when we say a brokerage is able to provide their own liquidity in-house, let me give you an example. What that simply means, let's say, for example, there is an ice cream company. Okay, let's say there is an ice cream company. The ice cream company, let's say they make ice cream. So ice cream makers, they make ice cream. And we have ice cream retailers. And we have ice cream retailers. So every single time this guy wants to sell ice cream, he has to go get it from these people. And if it's finished, he has to go get more. So even if somebody comes to them and say, we want thousands of ice cream packs, if they have only 500, they can try to get the remaining 500 from the ice cream makers, and supply themselves back again and supply the people who want to buy the ice cream. So the ice cream retailers are not necessarily the ice cream makers, but they have to be connected to them to get the ice cream. But these ice cream makers, they can also have an ice cream shop. That means they make ice cream, but they can also sell ice cream. So what that simply means is that even if their ice cream finishes in their retailing shop, all they have to do is to get themselves supplied again. So the buy, because remember, in order for your order to be executed in the market, in order for your order, I'm talking about this order, to be executed, whether you click buy or sell, somebody at the end needs to be able to accept your order for you, right? So the moment that you click buy, the brokerages that are market maker brokers, they need to activate your order for you by selling for you. So because they are market makers, they have the liquidity in-house, so they don't necessarily need to go get the liquidity from anywhere. But the brokerages that are getting supplied of liquidity, they are the ones that sometimes you will start to see some inconsistency in spreads and so on and so forth. Are you guys with me? Good. Let's get back to this chain. So the retail trader is connected to the retail brokerage, and the retail brokerages, majority of them are supposed to be connected to a liquidity provider. And then we have what we call the prime broker. The prime broker. The prime broker. Then we have the interbank markets. This is how it works. So even though you, the retail trader, even though this is where you are, there is a whole chain that even makes this possible. Are you guys with me? There is a whole chain that makes this possible. So when you place a trade, so the moment that you place a trade, your order goes to your broker first, not to the market. Because the only reason why you are connected to the market is because you are connected to a brokerage. So when you place a trade, your order goes to your broker first, not the market. So the broker is an intermediary entity that provides retail traders with access to the financial market. Very important that you understand this definition. So the broker, your broker, the retail trading brokerage, they are the intermediary entity. Please make sure you're writing something. They provide, that entity provides retail traders access to the financial markets. To the financial markets through a trading platform. Are you guys with me? So every single time that you take a buy or whatever, your order goes to your broker. It is your job of your broker to make sure they give access to you to the market. Now, the market maker broker, it is a type of broker, as I was telling you here. So now if you know any market maker broker, you will understand how they are. Some of you guys know this, but I said I will not mention names. So a market maker broker is a broker that takes the other side of your trade internally. So the moment that you click buy or sell, they have the liquidity in-house. So they create a market for you. So your trade, even though it may not reach the external market at all, you have to trust them that they have the liquidity in-house to provide that kind of market for you. So they, of course, they have the integrity to make sure. So it is very important because you need to understand this. Very, 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 very important. So as I said, we have the ECN. So please don't forget these definitions here. We have the STP, we have the ECN, and we have the market maker brokerages. So the STP and the ECN brokerage, they passes your order directly to external liquidity providers. So your trade will now reach the broader market infrastructure. So it doesn't mean that the market maker broker is better than an STP or ECN. All of them have different form of operations. So the ECN or the STP brokerage, they pass your order directly to external liquidity provider. So, but then at the same time too, not to bore you guys, there are also some market maker brokerages that also provide liquidity to some ECN and STP brokerages as well. So with the market, so let me give an example. Let's say, for example, a market maker broker, when you buy, the broker may be selling to you directly. So your profits is basically their loss. And in that case, this creates, in other words, a structural conflict of interest. This is the part I want you guys to understand carefully now. So the broker, when you click buy, watch, they have to sell for you so that your order will be triggered. So indirectly, what that simply means is that your profits is their loss. And then this creates a structural conflict of interest. They are not manipulating you. So every single time that a brokerage is experiencing some form of some damages, they have to protect their capital. So they may not manipulate the situation, but your interest may be misaligned with their interest, and it will affect how your execution is handled. I kid you not. There are something I was going to say, but I will not say it now. I don't want to mention any brokerage name, but it's just fine. Let's just move on. But you need to understand that I have witnessed a brokerage that has, said before me, before I don't want to mention the name, but an individual was making a whole lot of money, and their job, the risk team in the brokerage job, was to make sure that the individual does not make that money. Now, they are not trying to manipulate. You need to understand that they need to also protect their capital. So when you have a lot of people that they are buying, the broker must sell. So even though the move may be really correct, they are not necessarily manipulating you to let you lose. But the brokerage needs to hedge. So hedging is a form of a risk management to protect a capital. So now, if you're asking me, Cliff, what does me learning the different type of brokerages help me to make money? Well, it will help you to also understand sometimes your setup may be right and the move may be right. And the brokerage may not necessarily hurt you. But in the industry, everybody is trying to do their job. And sometimes that misalignment in the conflict of interest may create certain things against you. So it is not always, my strategy stopped working. It is not your fault. That is why I've said it before. Know how to adjust and adapt. So I want you, are you guys learning now? Please drop some number ones in the chat if you are learning something from me. This kind of teachings, I have to really take my time. Even if I end here early, I will do so. But I really hope that you guys are learning. If you are learning something, drop some number ones in the chat. Very well then. Very well. Okay. Can you guys see me now? Thank you so much. Can you guys also see me as well? Yeah? Good. Let's get right into it. Let's get it started. Nice. Good. So where were we? Very important place. We are trying to understand certain things because my job is to get you to stop saying I was manipulated. No, we will talk about this when we get to the behavioral edge. I will speak about inducement from a standpoint of why people think that they have been manipulated. We'll talk about that a little bit. I will talk about that. But I really want you to understand something right now, that in the midst of all this, one of the things that I really want you to understand, we'll come back to me writing again. But it is very important that you understand. My screen was off, so I want to talk to you guys for a second here. So the purpose of what we are doing now is we started by understanding that this financial market has a hierarchy. That is why it is a strong industry. It has a hierarchy. And this hierarchy, it moves everything. So when you look at the major banks are not just there. They regulate monetary policies in your country. This is the reason why government officials cannot just even wake up and say, we are going to just print money and spend it. Some people are able to get away with it. But there are monetary policies. There are rules and regulations. So the central banks, the major banks, they regulate monetary policies. We're talking about, interest rate. So when they want people to borrow money, they will reduce the interest rate. If they want people to stop borrowing money, they will increase it. These things are things, so they are doing their job. So there are actual roles going on. It's not just assumptions. Then we have the EBS. They are intermediary, brokerage services. They are the liaisons. Then we have the medium-sized banks. The medium-sized banks is why sometimes some people, for example, probably you guys know a company called Wise Transfer. How do you transfer money quickly and get this? It is because there are all systems that make it easy for people to receive money and so on and so forth. So this is not just about buying gold or buying Nasdaq or trading whatever asset you are trading. It's bigger than that. But at the bottom of the hierarchy, we also have you, the retail trader. But you are not directly connected to the market. You are connected to a brokerage. It's a chain of connection. So you are connected to your retail trader brokerage. Then the retail trader is connected to either a liquidity provider or they are creating the liquidity providing themselves. So that makes sense. And then there are prime brokerages. Then there are interbank markets as well. So you need to understand this is how the structure works. So when you understand it from this point of view, it will start letting you stop saying so. So while you are in your room and you click buy, don't think that how do I even put it? Don't think I will give you guys an example right now. Let me show you something. Give me a second. Let me show you. Give me a second. Let me show you guys something. So let's say, for example, let me open this application and share my screen and show you guys something quickly. So let's say, for example, I come here. I may not know anything. So I'm gonna give an example. I don't know. I don't own any shares in TradingView, or TradingView CEO is not in my house. But watch this. Let's say, for example, I come here. Let me basically just share my screen. Just stay with me, please. Just be a little bit patient with me because I want to make sure that we don't have any technical difficulties again. Okay, if you guys are learning, please let me know in the comment chat. Yeah, these are the things that we teach in a way that is a little bit different from the normal range of understanding. So just stay with me. So watch. Let me bring this up on the screen instead. So let's say, for example, let me share this. I will share the other screen back again. Give me a second. Let me share this one instead. So let's say I come here. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Someone, can you bring it up for them for me, please? Okay, perfect. So let's say, for example, I come here. So let's say, for example, I come here and I go to the settings and I go to ideas. Now, all these individuals you are seeing here, all these people, they are all retail traders. Now, these retail traders, I don't know them. I don't know them from anywhere. But the reason why they are connected to my screen is because I'm connected to TradingView. Is somebody getting my example I'm trying to make now? If you're getting my example, kindly just drop some ones in the chat. All these people are different retail traders. Why did this stop sharing my screen? Let's bring it back again. Thank you. So the reason why I don't know this guy. What's his name again? This one is the expert. This one is Selena. This one is this Jerry. All of these are retail traders. I don't know them from anywhere. But because I went here and I went to ideas, all of them came on my screen. And these are all the people analyzing gold. This one is telling you they are buying. This the same position. One is selling, one is buying. So it is a whole entire, market happening right now. I don't know these individuals. They neither need to know me. But the reason why they are appearing on my screen is because I am connected to something they are connected to. That is what I'm trying to basically say. Are you guys getting the concepts now? Good. So let's get back to business now. Very good. So this is how the whole entire hierarchy works. This is it. So one of the things that I want you to understand is that your broker's business model determines the conditions of your execution before you even enter the trade. I want you to write this down, that my broker's business model. So remember, everything that we do over here, there is a psychological component to this. That's my broker's business model. Your broker. My broker's business model. Okay? My broker's business model. I hope my screen is sharing. Okay. So my broker's business model determines, I want you to write it, determines the conditions of my execution. Of my execution before I even trade. Before I even trade. That means the broker wants to make money. They want to preserve their capital. They don't care about you, but it's not because they are bad. It's just that in reality, that is how it's supposed to be. Are you guys to me? That is how it's supposed to be. So when I talk about the effect it has on your business, we are literally talking about just spread, slippages, and records. That's all. A slippage is the difference between the price of which a trade was intended to be executed and the price of which it was actually executed on. So there are brokerages, and sometimes there will be a slippage. It's as simple as that. So the spread, the slippage, the records, they are not random. They are structural costs of your position in that chain. That is it. So these things, they don't really make you money, but they are the little things. For example, there is somebody that told me he wants to make millions of dollars, like he's talking about $10 million, like in the next couple of few weeks or whatever. And, I was basically just talking and I'm like, yes, it's possible. It's easy to make millions of dollars in the financial market, but that changes the conversation. That means the brokerage you are using, you need to make sure the CEO of that brokerage is not wearing boxer shorts lying down on somewhere in Seychelles, probably registered somewhere. If that person sees $10 million in the deposit, of course, he has already made it. He's gone. So you need to know that even when there are a certain amount of money, if you want to make, it changes the conversation of where you want to even save the money at in the first place. So these things are not things, that my team sent me. I don't know, probably the individual is watching right now, but my team sent me a message of somebody who is saying that they traded on the prop firm, and I think they have actually really been able to pass the prop or so, but that you pay the prop firm after you have passed something, or after you have reached your payout. And when I read the message, I'm looking at this and I'm like, but if you have been able to prove to the prop firm that you are that good, all they have to do is to allow you to trade on the money and then they will give you your cut and subtract what you owe them together with their percentage. It's a good deal. Why do you now need? It is like those scammers that will tell you, oh, all you have to do is we have a package for you, and we are bringing you the package. But in order for us to pass this border, send us money, let us pay this border fee. And then why don't you pay it and bring the things and let me see my things and I will pay you. There are some certain things, if you really sit down to really think about it, you will know that this business is not making sense in a way. But sometimes when you are desperate, you don't see it. That is why one of my prayers, and that is the reason why I teach some certain things, and I'm like, be in the position in the financial market where you are clear enough to see the nonsense. That's all I've been saying. When you are not desperate, it is easier for you to make decisions. And so there are certain things that you need to know, that in this business, people want to make money. It is not about you. It's not about you at all. So the next thing that I want to talk about is, now that we understand that there is a hierarchy to this business, prop firms are trying to make money. There is a company one time, that came a long time ago. They came to me and they said they want to open a prop firm, and they want me to lead the prop firm, space, and basically just not to sell the prop firm, but be the CEO of the prop firm. And then, so that people can basically just be helped by me. Now, it's funny because, I didn't necessarily really want to sort of, I was not planning on trying to, create any prop firm or whatever, but that is their mindset of what they were trying to tell me they want me to do. So what I said was, not necessarily, the reason why I'm not going to say yes to that deal, because when the time comes, by the grace of God, if God wants us to create the very first prop firm full of integrity, we will. But it is not part of my blueprint. It is not part of my desires. It is not part of my mandate, but then when I look at the way the deal was, they are only just trying to look for a face to attach the prop firm to and say Cliff is a CEO. And many people are doing that now. So you will find out your so-called, favorite trader that you can't stop worshiping. You will now all of a sudden come out from nowhere and say, we have the best prop firm in the world. Believe me, behind that prop, there are actual people who run the whole entire organization. So this is how the business works. So now you don't jump from one prop. Sometimes I will look into the comment of other people's Instagram comment, and they'll be asking, which prop firm now is the best? I'm like, what are you trying to find out? Ladies and gentlemen, really grow to the point where your eyes will open. This industry is not all sunshine and rainbows. Really, it is not that colorful. There is really a hierarchy going on. When you understand the way the industry works, you will start to understand that while you are killing yourself to be able to do whatever it takes to build that prop firm account, you will stop giving your whole entire 24 hours. There are people right now watching me right now. You will make more money if you trade less in the markets. You will make more money if you trade less in the market. There are people, you will make more money if you are trading only Wednesdays and Thursdays, the whole entire week. But because you have been addicted to clicking buy and sell because somebody else is benefiting from your clicking, and there is always an agenda of pushing the idea of trade, I can assure you that individual who is always pushing you signals every single day from Monday to Friday, I can assure you he doesn't just love you that much, Chief. He doesn't just love. It is not just love. And he's not bad either. It is a business. He's not bad. He's just doing his business. So when you understand the concept of this, it changes the whole entire conversation. So now you can choose and say, this person is doing their job. He's sending signals so that people will click buy and sell, so that he could make volume money from his rebate. It is his business. By me, I've decided to only choose a trade from him, from this and that. So it will make you just be like, okay. So you are not being manipulated, neither are you also missing out. You just know how to position yourself. Are you guys with me? So when you start to understand the business model, you stop being judgmental and you start playing it with wisdom. That is it. It's a hierarchy. Everybody has a role position in there. You are at the bottom of the hierarchy. So I always say this, that this is how I see this business now. Truly, this is how I see the business model. Watch this. I keep on sharing my screen. It keep on going off. Let's bring it again. The devil is like, to come back again. So watch this, ladies and gentlemen. This is how I see this. Watch. There is an industry here called the financial market. You, the retail trader, you are at the bottom here, and you are connected to a brokerage. Now, this circle here is you. You are not this circle. You. This is you. This is you. This is every individual I showed you on TradingView. So TradingView, from a retail trading standpoint, is here. Your brokerage that doesn't have this one is connected here. So they are all the platforms that we use. They are all here. The academies, the prop firms. So the prop firm can be connected to a brokerage in here, but the actual prop firm as an entity is here. So in here is a whole entire world of business here, a whole entire world. This masterclass you are watching is here. There is no shame about it. We are here. We are here. It's like an individual who is a child of God. Even though that you are not in heaven, there is a way, wisdom, direction, knowledge can fill you on earth, and you will start operating like you are here. This is all I'm teaching you today. That whether you like it or not, every single one of you on this masterclass right now, you are here, including the person teaching you. We are all here, including your mentor saying he is a goat. He is here. Whether you like it or not, we are all here. But just like the example I gave you, with wisdom, understanding, not being ignorant. So I want you to imagine heaven and earth. So even though we are human beings here on earth, there is a way you can borrow wisdom from a heavenly realm and operate from earth. Everybody will think you are a heavenly being. So you will sometimes see people who will sometimes say, I understand, I'm like a god. The person is basically saying, there is a level of knowledge I have acquired. That's some experience and knowledge. Now the way I operate like this. So let us be real. The earlier you are real, the better. So if I say the infrastructures in the financial market is not built for the average retail trader to make money, I'm saying many retail traders, people like ourselves who have been in this industry for 14 plus years, the reason why I have some certain knowledge is because by the grace of God, in the journey of my career, I had the privilege to work with other institutions in here. Bring my screen up again for me, Solomon. I got the privilege to work from an institution in my career, 3 actually, from back to back in here. I was sharing this to some of my people. So the experience and the things I say, people sometimes say, oh, Cliff is saying, no, it's because we have learned some certain things before. We have been inside the position before. We have understood, okay, so this is how this thing works. So this is why this thing is like this. I have seen with my eyes where a brokerage, I kid you not, they knew how to be able to make sure an individual payout will not happen. They knew how to be able to cancel the person's structure of their execution to make sure they don't get a payout. And with intelligence, I was just looking at how the risk management team was able to do it, and the individual can do nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. You are here. The YouTube videos is here. So now this is what is happening, because here has also become a very profitable business. Here has also become a very profitable business. So the ability to eliminate all the noise while being here the best strategy. The ability to eliminate all of this and stay in the zone with understanding and focus on yourself, connecting yourself to the brokerage, minding your business, respecting the hierarchy, and making the money. This is the problem. The Telegram channels is here. Here is the number one scalping strategy you will ever come across. Is here. All the noise is here. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to be able to become an independent trader in a way that, like as if you are the only one here connecting to your brokerage. Eliminate all the noise. If somebody is understanding where we are going with this series, drop some number ones in the chat. That in the midst of all this, how can you zoom out all this? My goal is to make sure that we block all the noise. All the noise. Should I use this strategy? Should I use this? Should I use that? Maybe this Telegram channel is better. Should I use it? The ability to block all the noise. All the noise. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my goal for this series. That you can come into the market and somebody will tell you, I think I'm going to buy gold tomorrow. And you'll be like, all the best. All the best. Just take care of yourself. And oh, won't you buy with me? No, I'm good. Right now, I've been able to. I am risking only $1,000 this week, and I've only just exhausted 500 already. So I have 500 left. So I have a move I'm waiting for. All the best. Independent trader, are you with me? Independent trader, are you watching? Future independent trader, are you with me? Are you guys getting this? That you are able to tell the people who are, let's buy gold. No, I'm not buying gold today. Yesterday, I didn't sleep well because this industry is a whole entire structure on its own. I need to make decisions for myself and I need to be clear enough. For me, I don't trade on Mondays and Tuesdays. Why? The market is moving on Tuesday. Yeah, I know. I am deciding not to trade it. Not because I am missing anything. Independent trader. Independent trader, are you listening to me? That there is noise. Ladies and gentlemen, there is noise. There is noise over here. There is too much noise. Cliff, should I trade synthetic indices? There is noise. Cliff, which strategy is the best? There is noise. There is noise. You need to be able to understand how then do you filter by the end of this series if the knowledge you are about to learn, me exposing to you, if that knowledge makes you ready and you believe this masterclass you are listening now, you don't need it anymore to be able to go to the next level. I am happy. My job is done. Eliminate me as a noise and go and make money. Independent trader. I am happy for you. The goal is not to, you see, one of the things I always tell people, they don't believe me. My goal is not to make sure you stay with me forever. No. That is what we are about to build TP Family Reps. My goal is to make sure that after watching series of the episodes, you have grown to become a profitable independent trader, that when you pick up the chalk or the marker and you are teaching somebody, truly you can transform them. My goal is not for you to stay here forever. So sometimes people will sometimes say, Mr. Cliff, some people who came here from the masterclass last year, some of them, I said it is okay. Some of them has either quit or they have grown to get to a point where they are watching the masterclass, but they are watching it differently. It is okay. It's joy with my heart. So I want you to genuinely, I will not hide anything from you in this series, even if it will make me lose some of you people because you will grow so much that you'll be busy doing your own master classes. It is enough for me. It is joy. So an independent trader is emerging from this series. You will see. So there is noise. So there is a whole entire industry here now. And people are making a whole lot of money. People are making a whole lot of money from this side of the business. A whole lot of money. It is very important you guys understand this. A whole lot of money is being made from here as well. But there is no problem. It is a business. It's a business. It is a reality. I want you to understand this. So you, the trader, you are here. You are one of these ... I was saying. You are here. The goal is to eliminate all the noise and become an independent trader. Are you guys with me? Your $100, your $200 to become an independent trader. So the foundation I wanted to give to you today is that there are infrastructures and systems you need to build. You need to build infrastructures for yourself in your room. And there are going to be various areas we are going to be looking at. That is what I told you earlier. Various areas we are going to be looking at. So when we started today, this series, what did I tell you? I said we are going to be looking at technical edge. We are going to be looking at the behavioral edge. Can we bring back the screen? We are going to be looking at the risk edge. We are going to be looking at the data edge. Very important that you understand technical edge, behavioral edge, risk edge. By the end of this, my goal is to build, number one, your confidence. I want to build your confidence. I want to build your confidence in your technical edge. I want to build your confidence in your risk edge, and I want you to build your confidence in your data edge. But in order for you to understand, you need to understand that you are in this business for yourself because of what we call conflict of interest. Cliff, why? Is because every single person I mention here, everybody has a role. Every participant, they are doing their job for a country. They are doing their job. They are doing their job. The corporations, the hedge funds, the pension funds, the Warren Buffett, the Elon Musk, they are doing their job. You have to do your job. Your job is to make sure that you are making decisions that will not sabotage your account. And the only way to understand us is that this industry has a business. And this business, you need to understand your positional. You need to be able to come to the reality of your positional awareness, knowing where you are so that your decisions will be able to be consistent with that reality. And then I made you understand that from a retail trader perspective, you are connected to a retail brokerage. That is the only reason why you're connected to the financial market. And you need to understand that at the end of the day, there is a whole entire industry on its own over here connected to the financial market, making people a lot of money over here in this space. So some people over here alone is enough. That is a reality. But it doesn't mean that as an individual, watch this. Let me bring this home so that every one of you will understand. It doesn't mean, I am not saying, watch. Don't allow any negative mindset to let you think I am saying this place is error. No. If you go into the football industry, ladies and gentlemen, not everybody can become Cristiano Ronaldo. CR7, is that true? But there is somebody who massage the leg of Cristiano Ronaldo. That person also gets paid. There is somebody who supplies water for Cristiano Ronaldo. That person also gets paid. There is somebody who manages Cristiano Ronaldo. That person gets paid. There is somebody who sells tickets to those who want to watch Cristiano Ronaldo. That person also gets paid. This is also an industry. There are people who create betting for those who believes Cristiano Ronaldo will score. That also is the industry. This industry, there are no infrastructures for the retail traders. So we are now, we the pioneers, mentors, we are supposed to be creating a whole entire system that protects this single person to be able to survive in an industry that they are in the financial market here at the bottom of the hierarchy. So that means Cliff Cheqona, as a trading psychology coach, what are you doing for the people in here without creating noise? Risk management expert, what are you doing here? Nutritionist, where are the food we need to eat? So imagine if there is somebody who is a good cook and he says, I'm creating a meal called the PIPS balance. PIPS balance. You are creating the PIPS balance. It is a meal when you eat, it reduces your cortisol. Because as a trader, I have learned from TP Masterclass that you are a performer. Therefore, as a nutritionist, I realize if traders are performers, then the same way Cristiano Ronaldo needs to eat well is the same way the trader in here has to eat well. So therefore, I have created this. Tech people, where are the infrastructures that you are creating for the retail trader who is busy clicking buy? And if at the end of the day, you are able to create a system that can lock their portfolio so that they don't click again I know there are other systems, but some people cannot afford it. So create an affordable one that everybody can use as well. So this is what I mean by the industry over here. So I'm not saying everybody who is here is bad. There are people who needs to arise. You have good intention. What about the person who will come and create genuine prop firm? That it is not about what you pay, but it's about we scouting good traders and we make money from their skill sets, infrastructures. So what we are doing here is not saying that every single person here is doing bad thing. No, we need to accept, myself including every single mentor and a pioneer, that instead of we investing into too much cars, we have a lot to do with our money in this industry to help the people coming from behind. This is my message for the foundation. So there are new academies that must be built that can teach people the holistic structure of the industry. So instead of we rushing that I can't wait to make money and I want to impact, your impartation shouldn't be about buying the next Lamborghini, buying the next Ferrari. You need to make sure there are many people who are out there. The infrastructures we have right now is not enough. Instead of me fighting with Cliff Cheqona, instead of Cliff Cheqona fighting with so and so, how can we come together to create the next biggest thing that retail traders in Africa can benefit? Infrastructures. Because the cars is great and is beautiful, but it is not enough to transform the mind of a trader. This is what we are talking about, the foundation. So whether you like it or not, we are at the bottom of the hierarchy, but we can also create an infrastructure here for the average retail trader to survive making money in this industry. This is it. Not the kind of infrastructure that says my strategy is bad and yours is good. Not the kind of infrastructure that the individual will come and release a comment under my video and say, why are you only talking about trading psychology? Cliff is talking about psychology. Man, I've learned a lot. Some of these mentors, they secretly sneak themselves, come in here, learn, and they go and teach on their platform. They do. There are videos people have sent me on a topic I taught over here, and they are my personal framework, and they were using it to teach. Instead of them saying, Cliff, I want to call you and come into my community, and then let us come and teach. If you guys have realized, this is one of the community we have zero fear. I'm not afraid one bit that if I bring a mentor here, you will go and listen. I don't care. You can go and listen to them if that's the person you want to hear. This is the kind of message we are trying to preach. That a group of people will understand that the more we fight each other, the more people lose. So the mentees, they are the ones struggling because there is more to build. A brokerage came to me and they said, Cliff, we want to be able to work with you. A long time ago, a very popular brokerage, very popular, one of the biggest brokerages in the whole entire African continent. So they come to me, I'm talking to one of their managers, and I tell them that they are like, we know that you can bring more people. I say, yes, I know. But it is not about bringing more people. If you guys decide to partner up with me and work with me to transform minds and really give proper trading psychology infrastructure to people, I promise I will genuinely really let them know this is the brokerage that did it. But then you guys are even fighting against me because the more I have to work well, the more I have to tell the people to be patient. Don't trade more. You don't like that. So the same infrastructure that we are trying to fix is fighting against us. So you need to be able to understand this is where we are. Where are the lawyers? The people that went to law school and they are also traders, build law firms specifically for retail trading space. Imagine right now you go on YouTube and you find a video that says, here are the 5 reasons why prop firms are cheating you. And you break it down legally. And how many of you will not go and watch that video? Legally breaking it down. Here are the 5 reasons why prop firms are cheating you. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Here are the breakdown of the brokerage's contract you have not read. Number 1, number 2. You will find many people on your channel, not because you are looking for money from YouTube, but because you are giving value as an infrastructure. Is somebody learning? The infrastructures in the financial markets is not built for the average retail trader to make money. This statement is not something I say to just go. My goal, and I'm calling every single mentor out there, It is about time we need to build the infrastructures. Yes, we have proven to people you can eat that food, you can buy that food, you can buy that car. It is not enough. Somebody came onto my platform, the one I used to mentor people, and they saw the infrastructure of that platform and they went like, wow, Mr. Cliff, this is the platform. I said, I know. They were impressed. It's because we have invested many things into the platform we are building. But the only issue is because the way I mentor people, and I want to say this ahead to apologize to all those who send messages to say, Cliff, mentor me. I genuinely really wish I can. But my mentorship program is not based on you coming to pay me to mentor. It's based on your transformation. And so I don't even take more than 20 people in a year. You can ask all those who have worked with me, but I don't take more than 20 people in a year. The reason being is because, number one, it's a one-on-one mentorship. It takes time to transform a person. So when I went to Connected Minds, I said something and people were like, yeah, I disagree with you. I said, I get it. I don't care whether you disagree with me or not. I believe that we charging people is not a problem. The problem is if we charge, we need to create the system for the transformation. That is all I'm saying. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I have been very ignorant before. I've been ignorant in a way before that back in the days when we started in 2012, there were things we used to believe that is not true. There were people we told we can build their portfolio for them in the beginning. It is not true. We blew their accounts. My uncle, my friend's uncle, we blew his account because I believe, I can trade. That it is not true. So if I say these things, I am not saying I have been perfect throughout. No, I have made mistakes in the past. So you need to be able to understand how the things we are teaching, it is coming from an experience, both from our own personal experience and working with corporations that are in the position that have taught us a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, the foundation I want you to get today is quite very simple. There is a hierarchy to this business. And you and I, as retail traders, ladies and gentlemen, we are not connected to the industry the way you think. But there is a whole entire infrastructure that is missing in our area that we are in. Let me draw again and show you guys something. There is a whole entire hierarchy. Major banks, so and so, they are all here. And there are brokerages here. You are connected to the brokerage here, and the brokerage is connecting to you here. There are retail trader brokerages that are here, prop firms that are here, but there is a main entire market maker liquidity provider that's connected here as a brokerage, and you are connected here to that brokerage or connected to a retail trader brokerage that is connected to this. This is how you are here. But we are here as retail traders, there is a whole entire infrastructure we need to build. So instead of tearing people down, instead of fighting one another and comparing who is who, the Bible says those who compare themselves to themselves are not wise. We are supposed to build infrastructures here. And the infrastructures we are supposed to build, they are supposed to cut across few dimensions I wrote here. Number one, technical infrastructure, risk infrastructure, behavior infrastructure. Now you know where to put me, isn't it? If I am part of the infrastructure, now you know where to put me. I am here. There are other mentors you know that are here. There are other mentors that should arise and only just be here. And there are mentors who should arise and their job is to only take you through back testing after you are finished learning. So imagine Cliff Cheqona here, other trading psychologists, we are all here, Rick's team here. Imagine a retail trader coming through this whole transformation as one academy. My God, your transformation will never remain the same again. That you go through a whole entire transformation like this. But because it is not there yet, my job today is to show you how you can build an edge by yourself. By understanding what you need to learn, how it works, what you need to do, how it works, your behavioral edge, your data edge, so that you can become an independent trader. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have learned something today from this masterclass, drop some number ones in the chat for me.
If you have learned something today from this masterclass, drop some number ones in the chat for me. This is what is missing. If you are wondering why the average mentee is confused, it's because technical knowledge is not enough. If you are wondering why the average retail trader is confused, it's because behavioral knowledge is not enough. Risk is not enough. Data, they all have to come together as one infrastructure, holding retail traders accountable. This is the kind of the future you as a trader, I want you to become. So every single person who is wondering, this person is better than this, the more we keep on doing that, the more the mentees are the ones struggling, because the industry was not supposed to be built in that context for the retail space. We are already, see, the thing is, because we are at the bottom of the hierarchy, you are already defeated. So fighting and comparison already is a big loss for everybody. If you find one person winning alone, it means multiple people have been sacrificed. I'm telling you the truth. I will give you an example. I'll give an example. We are almost about to wrap up. Watch this. Let's say, for example, you come to me and I tell you, watch this. These are zones. Market is accumulating here. Very soon you will find the market pushing up. Then it pushed back down a little bit again. We will call this a fair value gap area. Here. Then we are expecting the market to push up. Now, if the market comes back up here, somebody who is teaching you will tell you, oh, this is what do you call it again? It's a break off BOS, which has changed. After the character changes, a break off structure, then it is pointing up here. So we will call this one here higher low. So it now broke here as well. Then it rejected back again, went back, broke here as well, onto the way to get to the spot here. We'll find the market doing this. Then if it comes back here and take this low, we know that it has changed a character. And if it pushes back up, you're looking for a place to mitigate. Then whatever you will do. That's how some people trade. Now, in the midst of all this, there are people who will call something head and shoulders for you. So the guy who is focused on trying to catch the move using change of character, BOS, fair value gaps, and liquidity sweep as their thing, they are focused on that. But there is another guy who also believed this was also a head and a shoulder here. This is the head, these are the shoulders. So that individual also is looking for that. So this person is selling to someone. Now, all these people, their strategy is working from time to time again. That is the reality. So what you need to understand right now is that in the midst of every single structure, when we get to the technical part, you will understand. Right now, what we're talking about is the structure of the market and market structure. I always say that there's a difference between structure of the market. That's what I was teaching you. And we have market structure. Yeah, two different things. So in the midst of these areas, there are people who will say, this is my strategy. And they say, that's what I told you. Anytime you see head and shoulder, somebody will also say, the reason why is this double bottom. So everybody is saying something, but in the midst of that, watch this right now. So you will come to Cliff, and Cliff is saying, Cliff is like, my strategy is called the mountain strategy. Every time the market form a mountain. So this is how I'll do it. Let me show you something. So let's say there is a strategy called mountain. So every time we do this, and then you sell from the cliff top. So you sell from the cliff top. That's my strategy, right? Let's say I'm calling my cliff top. Now, because we see through our brain, the moment I make that example, it's true. Hey, it looks like a mountain. Oh. Yeah, it's true. So now, I say, let me even brand this. So now I will add the mountain trader to my IG name, mountain trader. Then I will have people who will believe this is a mountain strategy and they will all trade mountain. Now, we are all mountain men, yeah? We are climbing and selling from the cliff. So now watch this. Let's say if I teach people and say we are putting our stop loss here. So every single time you see that the mountain is about to fall from the cliff, you will put your stop loss above the mountain top. That is what I'm teaching. Okay. So in the beginning, I have one person, two people, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are all believing. Multiply, and now I have 1,000 people in my Telegram channel who
who believe we are mountain traders. Now, all of us, our stop loss is here based on what the mountain teacher taught us. So the mountain teacher said, when you see the setup like this, sell from the cliff top. It's called the mountain strategy. Great. Now we have 1,000 people who have learned very well and all of their stop losses here. Now, the moment that 1,000 people are putting stop losses here, it will create what we call a pool of money. Now, this pool of money simply means there is orders here. The market has a hierarchy. People don't want to lose money and people don't want to waste money, the big boys. So what do you think we'll do? They will come and take all the stop losses of the mountain traders. Then the mountain traders, those who don't have a lot of money, 70% of them will lose their money, obviously. Everybody will lose money, but then majority cannot be able to enter again, right? Because their money is gone. They over leveraged. Now, 700 is gone. It's left with 300. The 300, some of them also over leverage again because they are afraid lost some. Then it is only left with 10. The 10 people who were able to really sell, one of them is the mentor, because for him, remember, he's already making money from other businesses, so he didn't actually care. 9 is the people who are close to the mentor. Now, over 1,000 people who was learning. Now, remember, out of these 1,000 people, these few people who started here, they are the core friends of the mentor. The ones that came, they are the ones that are 700 people. Now, some of them will win money. Don't get me wrong, but the reality is that some of them will lose. Not necessarily because the strategy has stopped. It's because anytime there is a pool of money, the market has to grab the liquidity. It's as simple as that. So the more traders become, the whole entire structure of the business says, in order for somebody to buy, somebody has to sell. In order for somebody has to sell, somebody has to buy. This is the way the business works. So Cliff, are you saying that means you can never be able to stop? You can remove losses from the business? Yes, losses are forever going to be part of this business. That is it. So now it doesn't mean that the logic here is that imagine you are going to fight, you are going to have boxing match with somebody, and the person goes on YouTube and they see the tactics. So you are like, hey guys, so here are the 5 tactics I'm going to use to beat Cliff Cheqona. Tactic number 1, I'm going to hit him on the left and hit him on the right. This is literally what is happening. So everybody is claiming that they have the strategy, and yet they put the strategy that is supposed to use to beat the market makers, beat the so and so. It's all on YouTube, and it's like, here's how I'm going to beat this guy. Strategy number 1, I'm going to use this. For some weird reason, doesn't sound logical in your mind. They are going to fight somebody, and you have put your whole entire strategy how you're going to be the person on the internet, literally. Now you will have thousands of people who came across the number 1 best scalping strategy that is going to transform your life. Ladies and gentlemen, all that I'm saying is if you don't start becoming an independent trader, watch. An independent trader is an individual who understands the concept of the business, who have been able to understand the principles of the market structure, and is able to be a critical thinker to know how to think for themselves. Cliff, when do I take the profit? Chief, you are asking me? You are asking me when you should take your profit? What are you waiting for? Like, why are you asking me when you should take? You see, traders, retail traders in this season, they have stopped thinking. So you are telling me if you were seeing $1 million in that asset you took, you will come and ask me when you should take the profit. The reason why you're asking me is because you want to make some certain amount of money you are not seeing with the current capital and the system and structures you have. So why are you asking me when you should take? Chief, what are you talking about? You don't know when to take your profit? The retail traders have stopped thinking. There are some things, they are logical. I don't need to sit you down and tell you as a gold trader, look at DXY. I don't need to sit you down and tell you as a gold trader, be watching the news between Iran and Israel and the United States. It's common sense because gold is a safe haven. Every single time that the market is under attack in any geopolitical systems or whatever, gold becomes a safe haven. Yes, it may drop, it may go up and whatever one not, but it is still a safe haven. It doesn't change that principle. This is what I can teach you. But what I can teach you is when should you take your profit? It's logic. Are you guys with me? So there are many people who have stopped thinking independently because the current systems depend on your dependence to make money. This is what I'm trying to let you understand, that the current system depends on your dependence so that it can make money. But when you become independent, you choose when to operate. This is what the series is about. So you are going to know, okay, I have studied XYZ. I need to understand time frame. So when you go to another person's channel and his name is Mike, you don't need Mike necessarily. You need Mike's time frame knowledge because you are bringing it to add to your understanding. But many people don't even know what to learn, ladies and gentlemen. And the truth is, I can't mentor everybody one by one. So this is our contribution to the infrastructure. This is the reality. So in the Independent Trader series, my goal by the end, remember what I told you, that I want you to reach a point that you are making independent decisions. You are smart enough, and so on and so forth. So there are concepts, there are principles, and you, the human, there are sentimental ways. So that's like just like what I said. No coach is sitting down teaching Cristiano Ronaldo how to do bicycle kick. Those are sentimental decisions. He saw the ball coming. He was like, I will take this risk. And he did. Calculated risk, and it won. That is something you can't teach a professional trader. All right, I'm going to pause here for the episode 1. If this alone has not given anybody anything from the beginning, from the risk management example I gave to now, then you will not be able to learn anything. But if you did pay attention and you have learned something today and you are ready to become an independent trader, wherever you are, I want you to declare, I am becoming an independent trader who is willing to understand my position so that I can be able to make decisions that connect to my realities. I am becoming an independent trader. Drop some number ones in the chat for me if you learned something today. Drop some number ones in the chat for me if you did learn something today. Drop some number ones in the chat for me if you did learn something today. Instagram, drop some number ones in the chat for me if you did learn today for me. You say it takes confidence for me to teach the way I teach. It's because I have so much love for you guys, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Because sometimes when you're teaching things like this, you'll be making bold claims and bold, declarations. But this is the only way to teach you guys, because there isn't anything that I've not seen in this industry from a retail trading standpoint. Believe me, there is more in this industry. If only your eyes could see, you will stop rushing. Many people, they say, I can't wait to be able to go into the market in Monday. I said, relax, chief. The market is not going anywhere. Relax. Truly relax. All right. Don't forget to like this stream on YouTube. Very important. Very, very important. Thank you so much, guys. This series, I will pour my heart out. I will pour my heart out in this independent series. I will. I have actually paused some things. I will pour my heart out. I will really, really teach. I will teach. And the goal is to make sure when we finish this series, nobody should come and ask me, Cliff, what do we learn? You know it already. Go back and watch the series so that I can focus on transforming your mind. Are you with me? That is the purpose of this series. Many people need to understand things. You need to understand biases, confirmations. What does it really mean? You know, and some of you, after this series, you will finally take your first risk. Some of you are afraid too much. Scared money makes no money. Take that risk. Even though you will not make money on 0.0, you see what I'm about to say right now. Please don't cut this part and go and tell people Cliff said risk all your money. I'm saying scared money makes no money. That is all I am saying. That the 0.01, it can't make you rich, but I understand. Your money is small. Let's keep pumping. But when you get to the time that you have enough, chief, take the risk. Don't blow your account. Remember the risk management approach I told you? Please, if you were not here in the beginning, I gave people a very classic knowledge about risk management. I will do that in the risk management conversation. But when you get the chance and you have the capacity to take the risk, that will not affect your account. Take the risk. We all did. I took some risk. Some of them in the beginning didn't go well, but when it went well, we smiled. Take the risk. Anyway, with that all being said, God bless you all so much. My name is Cliff Cheqona. I will see you guys, God willing, next week for the episode 2 of this series. And then after we are done with the independent series, we'll be looking at the self-perception series. I'm pretty much sure we might do that in Nigeria. I will look into it. In Nigeria, I have a very beautiful announcement for you guys. And also don't forget, if you have not joined the Telegram, the WhatsApp channel, we are not on Telegram or WhatsApp channel, please join because I'm going to be doing an exclusive meeting again for the TP family women. Exclusive, plus the TP family men. I can't wait to meet the soldiers, TP family men as well. So make sure you are in the group. They will be rolling up the announcements and the links for the registration so that we can take it up from there. So I think we'll do them one after the other. All right. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.